Now listening to The Joint Committee.
We can start like that.
Oh, holy shit. Welcome to the Joint Committee Sessions. My name is Lupino, along with the shit. I was going to call Mr. East Coasterdam.
East Coast of
East
Bond.
Coasterdam and Mr. Bond 420. What's the dilly?
What up?
Oh, you're too funny.
How you be, yo?
Me personally, I'm a little bit, like,
Yeah, you were pissed off before.
I'm pissed off. I'm a little bit irate. I'm a little bit like
Tell me.
prideful. I'm a little bit of everything. I'm not gonna say it. I'm emotional about this because
Because you're Puerto Rican.
I'm Puerto Rican.
What's up?
And we've been like the protest officially was supposed to start on Wednesday, but it really started on Monday.
What's the protest for?
The protest ends up being about getting rid of the governor. The governor ended up, besides already a whole bunch of double dealings that did come out, what ultimately ended up finally was like the last straw is that a group chat that it belonged to him. It wasn't to like somebody else, like an intern. It belonged to him. Like 801 and 1500, another one as far as like pages and shit of him just talking shit, not just about the dead bodies that ended up happening with Maria, but talking about handicapped people, about females, about lesbian, gays, about just talking shit, even not just about like everybody else, but even about their own people, meaning their own party, their own everything. So he pissed off literally every Puerto Rican on the entire planet.
On the island?
On the
planet.
planet.
Yeah, true.
Motherfuckers from Puerto Rico, like Puerto Ricans from every single part of the planet have been posting up. I'm in Seoul, Korea. I'm in Germany. I'm in Mongolia. I swear to God, Mongolia, like with the Puerto Rican flag, like you need to fucking step down now.
Yeah.
That was like we had enough of your shit. You need to step down. And they started finding out too right before this, whatever. The FBI also arrested two of his secretary departments, the secretary heads, for the FBI arrested him for money laundering and corruption, specifically towards contracts to make sure it goes towards businesses that end up lining their own pockets. You know, the normal circle jerk and shit like that. The U.S. politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing, except this is an island. My fault. So come and find out, all this shit, all this fucking just. Oh, and the fact that so many fucking people died because the resources weren't there, and to find out these motherfuckers are just like fucking off.
Yeah.
Yep. So what happened started Monday, and officially even more on Wednesday. That even celebrities from Benicio del Toro, Bad Bunny, Daddy Yankee, Residente, that these are all famous artists, like entertainers. Ricky Martin. He even made fun of Ricky Martin because some people don't really know this, but Ricky Martin. His whole house got like flattened. He's rich and shit like that. He's got money, but he was in a situation just like everybody else.
Yeah,
like,
you don't kick a bad when he's down.
Your house gets flattened. Like, so they were making fun of him too and everything. So he was there and basically shut down Viejo San Juan and San Juan in general and the highway. Now, the whole point of it is to be in front of the governor's house. It's like you need to come down. Peaceful protest. You need to fucking leave, but. Come nighttime, it's a different change of events. Once protests and stuff like that, then now you got the clashes against the police, and police are trying to tell you to go home. You're like, fuck that, we're not going home until he fucking leaves.
Yeah.
And of course, tension rises like anywhere else in America. The same thing or anything like that, but it continues. So it's been continued since Monday, and they shut down Viejo San Juan, which means that that's the main tourist attraction. That's where the cruise ships end up coming in. Mm-hmm. That's where like everybody flies, and they say, "Oh, I went to Puerto Rico. What part? San Juan." I'm like, "Come on now, no, you didn't." It's like you went to the tourist attraction. That's what you went to, which is fine. It's cool. That's our beautiful island, and we have a very, very, very long history. So what you're looking at is part of our island. It's beautiful. So we love that we come and enjoy it. But at the current thing, and flat out. We put up a sign, and you seen it in my social media, saying attention tourists. The island is closed until he steps down and we clean house.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's totally fine.
So that means the businesses, the normal, everything. It doesn't matter on whatever side, right? Everybody is stopped. The whole island has stopped, and this isn't even businesses. Everything has stopped. Until this is resolved. And this isn't the left, the right, the middle, religion, everybody. I mean, like everybody. Anybody that's a Puerto Rican went there and just shut down the island, period. And to the point that we're even like, there's restaurants that are There's restaurants that are even like making food to like feed the protesters that are going to be there long night, continuing like that. And I swear, I posted one up too. There's a dude selling. He got a sign that says "Weed $5." In the middle of the protest, like holding up a sign, "Weed $5." And then I see that was on Monday, right? That first day it started. And on Wednesday, there's another one's like, "Yo, where's the guy with the weed for $5?" Yo, it's just fucking. So it's.
Where are you finding those pictures, or?
Well, for me, I have that tie-in with that social media because I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
So, but they're starting to spread everywhere because.
But it's not that on the news and stuff that much.
And that's something that it was very interesting, right? So for the first 4 days, right, you would hear blurps because I watched for it was really like heated up like that. I'm talking about like I'm watching it live, like helicopters, like you see like the whole thing just packed full of people, flags everywhere, and people chanting and like leave. And you look at the main 3 channels, CNN, NBC, and fucking Fox, right? Nothing. Everything we was talking about was Trump's tweets.
Yeah,
that was it, right? And what they didn't want to show was the people rising up and wanted to change the government, saying we had enough.
No shit. Of course they don't want to show us that.
And it doesn't matter if they're showing it or not. It's still happening. And what's happening now, every single Puerto Rican is wanting to go or is going to Puerto Rico to stand in the protest. And people changing in and out. No matter what. Still there, taking up the streets so no tourists can come and take pretty pictures and like that. But don't get me wrong. We want you like that, but not right now. The house is dirty. We got a clean house.
He's making fun of everybody and shit.
Everybody. And he's like, nah, I'm not going. Now, it's peaceful at this moment. Yeah. We have a long history.
What happened to fucking Gaddafi? What happened to too early?
When it came to really starting, it ended up giving a little name to something that ended up being, as far as Puerto Ricans standing up towards bad government and crap like that, they're called the macheteros. Machete men.
Oh, yeah, machete men, yeah.
Don't get it twisted. If it gets pushed to that, whatever, because, it gets pushed to that.
Puerto Ricans
will get chopped up.
He will.
And that's not a joke.
I know.
Puerto Ricans are still the only people that ended up going into Congress and shooting. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Led by a woman, Lolita Lebron. And it ended up being all of corruption. And during that time, they were actually, the history of Puerto Rico is unbelievably torturous from the second that so-called, explorers and conquistadors ended up coming to the island and started bringing slaves there and all that shit. It's so torturous, and to this day, they're still trying to be stopped. They still cannot. So, all I gotta say is, para mi gente, yo soy de Santurce, Youre en Torre, 100%. We have to go back, and we have to buy our own land back. And that should be every single one of our duties as a Puerto Rican, if you're out there. I'm telling you, it's nothing more than a duty. And besides that, it's a beautiful place to be. But
shitty situation.
And imagine if this same thing ended up happening today anywhere else, in any part of the United States.
It's gonna soon. We're gonna see it happen. Watch.
And it's not like people are destroying the buildings and setting things on fire. They're not.
I know.
At most ends up being some graffiti, but they're not, like the fire ends up being more towards like where the cops are standing as far as like their barricades and shit like that, but they're not setting the buildings on fire.
Right. They could.
They
could.
They shut down
but that's what they're scared of. They shut
down business, meaning there's no taxes to be made, meaning that everybody, left or right, up or down, any business is just that's it. It's stopped.
So when do the provocateurs come in?
Definition.
So usually whenever there's a giant peaceful protest that goes on and starts to get major attention.
Oh, they send in the pushers.
The people that are protesters, but really they're part of the government.
And they'll start shit.
In real buildings. And they start destroying shit. And the force comes in and fucks everyone up because now they have reason.
Right. So what's actually, something that, is with you, it's already evident because it's been a week. It's not, there isn't looting. People aren't like breaking into stores. That's not what this is any about.
Right.
So it's not happening. Yeah. So if you start to do that, what's going to happen is you're going to get the crowd pissed at you.
Well, that's the thing. If the masses stop doing anything, and there's no taxes or money coming in, then
do you want change?
They need to get out.
you want change, and you know, like, and this is what I'm saying, like,
Why
even
is he still in? What's he doing?
like, so what's happening, right? As far as the local government is that people still buying, like, you know, the Puerto Rican people are, you know, buying the restaurants that are already there. So there's tons of people, there's tons of money. There's already, so those businesses are still making money because there's other Puerto Ricans and they agree with like what's happening. So they're just, you know, like helping it all out, which is even better.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that imagine if that we just decided to just go to like whatever capital we ended up going to and just shutting down business. How much would that force any politician to step down because it shut down business for the state? That's momentum. And that's momentum that every citizen has. Puerto Rico is just a perfect example of that, what's happening right now, but they don't show it in any piece of media.
Well, it's nice because they have that proof of him saying whatever he said about whoever he said it about.
So this
when you have that kind of proof, it's like...
So this is what he did, right?
Let's be real. For any any city in America, it's not gonna equal out to Puerto Rico as far as a level of pride where people will do this.
I think there's a lot of places.
You're not going to get Rhode Island pride where people are going to feel Rhode Island.
No, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. But I'm sure there are some in the United States for sure that would definitely up in arms.
But not enough. Not the unity of a whole island like Puerto Rico.
You're right. You're right. I was thinking about that before, like
how every single Puerto Rican anywhere in the world is hearing about this and is voicing their opinion and posting pictures and like, yo, you need to step down. You need to step down.
But even before this, like if you ever even heard about this, you would still it's still kind of known like the pride that Puerto Ricans carry is pretty strong compared to most other people.
Yeah, so this guy must have some balls.
But I'm just saying.
He's Puerto Rican too.
But I just don't know if you can go shut down East Greenwich, or if we can go shut down, you know.
Imagine that if they ended up shutting down Manhattan Island.
I just feel like
with all that, you know, just for a week. Imagine occupied Wall Street, right? Imagine if that ended up turning into the entire island of Manhattan, right?
Yeah.
That would have been a different effect than
if it was peaceful. It might.
It couldn't reach that because of all the diversions that we have here in the mainland.
Well, remember one thing.
There's so many beach ball topics that people side with.
Yeah.
That it splits everyone up.
Unless it's like a, you know, God forbid, fucking 9/11.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's like a national.
The day after.
Which it did.
Was the best.
Absolutely.
That was a single event that unified an entire country for, you know, I don't know, 6 months.
For the better or worse.
It was for the worse.
Right.
Oh, shit.
You know, it puts you in a trance.
Well, the day after was nuts because that's when it was the craziest. Like, you could feel it throughout the air. Well, for me, the day of was like weird energy. The day after was like a
dead silence.
Like this unity, you could like smell it and feel it in the air. Like everybody was like.
I kind of remember for a couple days, not being sure if it was over.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I was on a tarmac for like 72 hours, and there was a lot of shit that happened that didn't get really reported.
Well, I'm convinced that
there was just like
I'm gonna say it. I don't think that was a plane that hit the Pentagon.
It was just that event.
It was not a plane. There's no possible way it was a plane. There's just no possible way it was a plane.
That was a crazy fucking event.
There's no way it was a plane.
I don't know. I have no idea.
That event was. Let's just call it an event because it'll get too deep to try to like.
Way deep, I bet. Yeah, way deep.
So let's call it that specific event for the good or the bad, or intended or not intended.
It's
changed us.
It's 100% a pivot point in world history.
Oh yeah.
Regardless of what you want to call it, just like Pearl Harbor, it's just another one of those moments, or when we drop the bomb. Those are moments in history that change pretty much the entire globe.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
The whole civilization changes based on that fucking, you know.
They said that when they dropped the bomb, that there was a calm among the whole world, like a quiet, like kind of like, you know, what we were talking
because they were like,
you know,
yeah. They were like, what'd you just do, and what's gonna happen to the rest of us? Now we must really
Yeah, twice. Holy
and it was already in tail.
double down.
It was already there. It was like kaboom, and then like 30 minutes later, kaboom.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I love. I mean, I know Carlos Mencia's got roasted for stealing comedy bits and shit like that, but he said one thing. He says, Japan, they drop many bombs. America, we drop 2.
No doubt.
Fucking funny as fuck. I
We
laugh.
dropped way more than 2 though.
Well,
We burned
yeah.
the shit out of Tokyo.
That's
Yeah.
what, like the whole carpet bombing thing.
But still,
Because all
the only 2 that will
be
be remembered are the
those
2.
Those are the only 2 real bombs ever remembered.
That and the
In
Tsar
history.
bomb.
Like dropped from an airplane.
The
What
Tsar-
other bombs?
The
are-
Tsar bomb, the biggest one ever in Russia.
But it didn't. It was never used.
Yeah, they dropped. It got used, but not on,
They
but not
dropped
on
it off the
anybody.
table. It just fell off the table.
It's just a new.
They hit the fucking island up in the middle of the fucking northern sea there.
Yeah, we
next to
tested
them.
a few of
But
them.
nothing.
No one died. Yeah, it was a
Nothing
test.
like a nuclear bomb during a war
Right.
No.
has ever been done.
No.
No, because they
I
see
think
what
the
happened.
next one, we actually have the third one too. The Moab, they just recently.
Yeah, but that
Well,
one.
that was non-nuclear.
Yeah.
That's the biggest
That's what I'm saying.
non-nuclear.
Yeah.
But I'm
That
saying,
shit's
like,
crazy.
your role. They
They
started.
went like
this-
15,
they started
15 stories
I think
underground.
I pissed
or something.
myself if I was,
There
like
was-
in that
there
hearing
was
distance of that shit, dude.
for
That shit's
sure.
like all of a sudden you just sitting there at nighttime.
Bro, there was
Mad
for
quiet.
sure Japanese guys on horses
Yeah.
that got fucking nuked, like soldiers. Like that's what I mean. Like it was a different form of weaponry that got introduced to the fucking race.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like that's a
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
moment in time.
Well,
They're
we
like,
might see
what?
we might see it
That's
again
that's a
on
joke.
September 20th when 2-point-something million people storm Area 51.
Oh, there's a date.
Yeah, September
yo, I'm thinking
20th.
about going just because.
No,
like,
you don't go anywhere next to that. You stay home and watch it live on your little device, and you'll be safe.
Why? I don't understand why everybody's first reaction or to this whatever is like go over there and they're gonna shoot you. Yo,
They're going to.
Yo,
no,
if
they
you
are
storm-
not going to shoot you.
Oh, yes, they will.
Listen,
They will open up
Yo, what
serious
do they do?
fire.
What do they do if you storm the White House?
They're gonna
what
open
would
fire.
the White House do if 30,000 people stormed the White House?
They would open fire because
They would try to get the president out of there and evacuate.
He would
But
get
that's
out
what
of there in
you're
a
supposed to
second
do when
because
something
there's
like
like
that
7
happens.
tunnels that he can go through.
Right.
Even
But
if-
the ones that are up top, 50 or 60 of them,
Doesn't-
they're gonna shoot.
Fine, he got away. It still wouldn't stop the rush. The rush would happen. That's why they would get away. He get away.
Yeah, but there's
My
more.
point is that if you rush any government facility, they're gonna kill you.
Listen, they don't need
You might
bullets.
overrun
They have
security, but
lasers.
What, you don't think lethal
They have
force is
they
a
have
real thing?
they have
Cops
las-
do it for no
Listen,
fucking reason.
They have laser
If
beams,
you could
bro.
lay siege with like 40,000 people to a castle,
They have laser
I'm
beams.
sure
So
that
it's
like
gonna be-
20,000 people could go over a chain link fence.
Yo, it's gonna be 40,000 dudes with fucking silly hats and crazy fucking bikes and shit. It's
that's
not gonna
enough.
be a 40,000 man army.
No, you're right.
Even if it is,
If-
it's 2.6 million, I think,
People?
on the
Oh, no,
Facebook
that-
thing
no,
now,
yeah,
ready
but-
to go.
Yeah, that's a signature.
Yeah, let's
Who's
say,
gonna put the balls out there and show up?
dude,
That's what I'm saying.
Yo, he's freaking out, man. The FBI fucking like
Of
visited
course
him
they
twice.
did.
The Air Force like
Of
fucking
course
made an
they
official
did.
statement.
Of course.
Like the
Bad
dude,
move.
yo, the guy,
Yeah.
yo, he was like, "I'm sorry, this is a joke. I swear, yo, I didn't mean like." It just caught fire and it's out of control.
I think
like,
he's
yo,
lying.
I keep like, yo, I'm fucking.
I think he's fibbing and he's for real.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I think he's fibbing and he's for real. He meant to do this, either for clout or
Well,
to
yeah,
really
that's what he did.
get the crazy people out of the way.
No, he said it was just to draw attention,
This is
but
the
it wasn't
power.
like meant like for real.
That's the
Who fuck
power
knows
of
saying that?
media.
Yeah, what happened?
Social
Power of
media.
Joe Rogan.
Dude, oh, God.
This story is 30 years old. Joe Rogan reintroduced it to millions of people that are fucking our generation. And
Yeah, kind of. But now that you have this social media platform where this one dude can say one thing and post a date and try and get likes and comments, and then it blows up into
Right, but
his face.
all I'm saying is, I think before the Rogan podcast came out about the whole Area 51 thing, I don't think this had any fucking momentum behind it. People always talk about UFOs,
Maybe the Rogan thing inspired the guy to do it.
And all the attention that's now currently surrounding Area 51 and the whole fucking thing.
Even Bob Lazar came out and he said, listen, S4 was there 30 years ago. He's like, it's not there anymore. I can guarantee you that. It's somewhere else, and there's probably 10 others. So don't go storm Area 51. It's a dumb idea. They will shoot you. They will use lethal force. That's what the little white guys in the truck on the mountains, that's why they're there, because they will shoot you. Like, if you go past that line, they will shoot you. And there'll be multiple bullets and laser beams coming at you. Yes, because I watched the thing where the airplane guy, he fucking literally, like, it's for real, that shit. Like, he was flying right in the Area 51 airspace, and you hear it come over the thing. Fucking, you better identify yourself and move north about 15 miles or some shit. And the guy was not happy on the other end. And the guy didn't say much. And then as he just kept getting closer, you hear the guy getting more and more pissed. He's like, listen, you something, airplane, this, that, whatever, you better turn course, or we're coming up. And all of a sudden, fucking, you hear the dude, he's like, I see him, because he was talking to somebody on a radio show.
He's determined.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, he's like, I seen him taking off. They're coming after me.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he's like, there's fighter jets coming after me. They're flying at me right now. They're coming at me, and fucking, then you hear everything go silent. There's nothing. So they either shot him down, pushed him down, and fucking have him still.
Was he live?
Doing experiments on him?
Who are you talking about?
Some dude that was flying a plane. They did it on purpose.
But who? Like, you saw it?
Well,
or
no.
Is this just like a story you've heard?
No, it's on the fucking. It was live on this radio show I can't remember the guy's name. It's kind of old. I think it was in the late 70s, early 80s, possibly. So
I sure it wasn't a bit.
I didn't sound like a bit. I mean, it was a while back. So I mean, if you planned that out and acted it that well, but I don't know, man. Oh damn, is that for real?
That's for real.
Well,
that's it.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but it was some thundering outside. You have your thunder buddy? Thunder buddy. But yeah, fucking whatever. I was just telling East Coast and them before. I hope they fucking do it. Do it. I mean, whatever. I'm gonna sit home and watch it happen, probably, and go, told you so. Well, whatever. Power to him. Respect if you got the balls and you feel that deeply about certain things.
I mean, look, let's be real. If like 20,000, and I think you're right on that, right? That all these silly hat people aren't like gun ho gonna charge offense. They're not.
Mm-mm.
But if they did, they don't have enough bullets.
Yeah, but you don't need bullets because they just got a couple bombs.
I said they don't need bullets. They have
bombs?
Laser beams. Did you not hear me? They have laser beams.
Have you ever heard of any guy to drop a bomb on like somebody across a U.S. installation? Inside the installation?
You know what they're gonna
Not
do?
yet.
It's gonna look like
Has there been 40,000 people that have done it though, all at once? I mean,
actually, no. There is one. There is.
The Alamo.
No, in Vieques, Puerto Rico.
Remember the Alamo?
They ended up actually dropping a bomb on this dumbass motherfucker that was there protesting and shit like that. And they were actually doing like a run, and kaboom. So from that, the protest ended up happening and made the naval sub base Rosie Roads shut down. Like, it's now they don't use that anymore to like bomb like that. But that actually did happen. That's the only case that I can remember, and the local people around Puerto Rico and everybody else like ended up saying, "Nah, you can't use our land to use as your bombing range anymore. You just killed somebody."
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm telling you, if they decide to go across that line, they better be ready for the consequences. Because, listen, I'm all for
Anal
thinking.
probe.
I'm all for thinking that that there's really aliens there and this and that. I don't fucking know. I'm too fucking stupid to know. But listen, I know they got fucking something, okay? Because there's no reason they would buy miles and miles and miles of land around just the base and the other bases that are hidden underground wherever the fuck
No, actually,
they
that's
are.
not true. That's actually pretty common.
What do you mean?
Because there's a lot of them are training centers too, right? So they
Well,
end up
that's
buying,
fine.
Yeah, so part of that base they buy miles and miles and miles and miles.
Yeah, but
around the
not
base.
this much.
That's just natural.
Not this much.
Well, it's desert. That's a little bit different. Well, actually, yeah, during the Mojave, part of a big chunk of the Mojave Desert belongs to Fort
once
Irwin.
once the 1990s
Like,
rolled
which is big,
around
it's a big-
and
what they
people
call
started
them-
sitting up on that
So-
rock and taking pictures, they ended up finding out that people were taking these pictures from that rock and bought more land.
Yeah.
So you couldn't be on that rock, and now you needed like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment to be able to see what the fuck if they are doing anything.
They don't end up buying.
But what are they protecting?
So
Like, that's the thing.
They don't end up buying it. But these places are also called. They're also called natural reserves, right? With the military. So they end up expanding their natural reserve, area, and when the military uses as training centers, like
When
all
there
these
was-
places. I was stationed
Right,
at
but
Fort Polk. They
this-
had a
this-
massive
This testing area was already there, already had its perimeters set up.
yeah.
The
Unexploded
story,
ordnance is probably the one thing I would worry about. The bombs that didn't go off that they used there.
Classic-
That would be worried.
classified information became out.
After so many years.
Not even.
The FBI admitted it.
It was in
FBI, CIA.
it was in 1987.
They were like, yep, we're doing shit here.
So once Bob Lazar put that story on the news.
Yeah.
It was on the 5 o'clock news. Then there was a giant land grab after that,
Right. Because they were like,
expanding the perimeters.
we're not letting these fuckers
So
find out
it
what we
wasn't like
have.
they just already had a reserve set up. Blah blah blah. They went out and
From what I
actively
understand,
expanded the perimeters even
Bob
further.
Lazar's whole thing about it is like, he's like, I don't really know what I was working on. He's like, I know just one part of something that I was working on.
Yeah, the
and,
propulsion.
He's like, my whole thing is I know what I was working on, so I pretty much know for a fact, 99.99999% sure that the government or that facility and the rest of them correlated to it are holding back technology that could help the civilization.
But
At certain points, we're just not ready for certain technologies.
also
it's a fact.
it also sounds.
We're
Well, I
just
think
fucking,
it's
like,
already.
look how we are
I
now.
think it's
We
already
can't
in
even fucking
play.
handle Twitter.
It's already in play,
What
right?
are we gonna do with some like
It's-
universal piece of technology?
It also sounds like
Is
they
that,
don't
like,
have it
fuck
fully
ourselves?
Reversed.
fully reverse engineered. They don't even understand it.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably some like fluid something.
Right.
So
Well, that story he said about the honeycomb thing that
Mm.
was like a hatch.
right,
He's like, I just found it so cool. He's like, that was the only thing that I could
understand.
was that one thing was, and all you did was pull it back and it would collapse on itself, and it was a hatch to go into somewhere, and I don't even, yeah.
There was 3 chambers.
like I was telling you before, I believe the motherfucker. Like, I don't
So
know.
I've listened to
There's
that.
definitely something going on over there. Like, you wouldn't buy that much land and hide just for testing purposes.
Well, look,
for
all of our top aircraft. I mean, where are these things developed? Somewhere, and it has to be kept private.
they're
I mean,
built
there's
in other spots and then
there's-
shipped in secretly and put together, just like we know of.
but they have to be developed somewhere. You can't develop an aircraft
Yeah.
in different parts of the country. It has to
Yeah.
somewhere be put assembled and tested somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the place.
So, whatever, even like any high special fucking weaponry in any country has a place that's fucking super protected. That they're not gonna let people in. It's just
Yeah. This part of business.
high,
Well,
yeah, black
And
ops and,
I
all that
agree.
shit.
We
I
have
mean,
other armies
I
trying to get
agree.
the same information, and we're gonna let some fucking dumbass, Americans
Exactly.
fucking just get into it. Because
Just-
let's be real, at least 25% of the fucking country is pretty stupid.
more.
And I'm being nice. 25%.
that's-
1 out of 4.
I'd
So
say-
if there's
I'd
4
say
people with you,
35%.
one of you motherfuckers is stupid.
I wouldn't even say 25% of the country's smart.
I'm just, you know.
And
I'm
what-
talking about, like,
how are we going
just-
to define smart?
I'd have to look at the numbers.
We have to define smart.
Well,
what's
no,
the
I
age
mean like
group?
just within
What's the age group?
reason, and I don't know. But then even still, it all depends on where they came from, what part of the country, this and that. Cause
21 to like 80.
exposure to new shit is important. I guess it depends who you're asking.
I think we need to know
Oh, here we go.
18 to 40. That's the people that we're living amongst right now.
Okay, that makes more sense. I agree with that. So
Everyone else's
yeah,
opinions are going to
I would say
drift off.
25%.
But those are the ones that are in
not
charge.
smart.
Not for much longer.
No, not for much longer because they're dying.
Exactly. So
I would say 25% of that are not smart. Yes, from 18 to 40, 25% of them are not smart.
and I would say a huge percent of people that are 30 to 50 are not smart.
34 and 35, down for the count. Yeah. I mean, I meet a lot of people that have common sense, but then I meet some people that I'm like, how do you walk through life?
Oh, so many people that you go, how the fuck did you get here?
you drive
You're still here?
You know,
Oh, some of them are in charge.
you got in a car.
Some of them are
insane.
politicians.
You
You don't understand. Like, you don't understand. Like,
I know,
they're
man.
just able to play that role. Like, you really start talking to some of these people. I was like, holy shit, you're fucking.
I mean, I'm not smart with like political
Like,
shit,
what? Are you
but guess
kidding me?
what?
Like,
I'm
yo.
common sense smart. Like, put me on the street with somebody.
It's just a job.
One thing's
a
for
lot of
sure.
them.
One thing's for sure. Age does not guarantee any fucking knowledge.
True.
Nope.
Because some people sit in the same fucking room for 50 years. They're not expanding their fucking knowledge.
That's right. Same job.
Same, not just the same routine, just
In
the
and
same
out.
baby,
In
baby,
and
baby,
out.
baby, baby, baby.
Oh yeah, when I get to like 30, I'm out. 30 years. I'm
Right.
like,
That-
30
and then-
years. Jesus, I can't even think
Holy
about doing
shit.
shit for like 3 years.
It's
like,
crazy. So
wow. Yeah, I can't.
So there's a large group of people like that are workers, and there's nothing wrong with that. But
No.
they're just workers. They're the gears.
Well,
they
it's like
just
bees.
yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, but I don't
that's
wanna call
why
them-
we actually figured out that bees are like that because we were able to correlate to it. It's fucking funny, ain't it?
But the thing about it is
Ants.
that, you know, even though we do these, even though like a huge chunk of the population isn't, you know, the kind of entrepreneur or kind of go out there like that, that's just not their thing, and that's fine, right? They still end up having these specific hidden talents that they were actually born to, not what we do now, where we don't have to hunt for our food or gather or actually survive and you know worry about like like all that kind of more basic stuff that we would end up normally having to just from being born. The way our society is change all that. So what you would think somebody would be like, damn, you would be like an amazing warrior. You would be like an amazing like this, like that, like. And they're what are they doing? Maybe I don't know.
No, listen.
Mailman
I don't mean
or
to.
something like that.
I don't
It's
mean
like
to cut you
complete-
off. Listen, I had a kid. I was just telling you about him. This 15-year-old kid say to me the other day, "What is hunting?" See, 15. What is hunting? What do you mean? I'm like, what? God bless you. What happened? He's like, I don't know what hunting is. I was like, well, buddy. I said, back in the day, like way, way back, hundreds and thousands of years ago, if that, predators kind of needed to eat meat. So they would hunt their prey, and then man started doing it as well and killing things to eat meat. And that's why people go hunting, is to get meat. And he's like, oh, that makes sense. I was like,
And you're going, this doesn't make sense. But I had to explain this.
I'm hurting right now. Like I literally lost a couple brain cells when he said it. I was like, because he was a 15-year-old kid, so trolling is a huge thing. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know if he was trolling me or whatever the fuck. But he was for real. I was like, all right, gonna give this kid a fucking lesson right now.
This is the day we live in, man.
He's like, you ever go hunting? I'm like, yep. I said, I've killed my own duck, my own goose, my own fucking rabbit, squirrels, fucking possums, all kind of shit. I said I've never killed a deer or like a bear or anything.
I've killed a deer. I killed a boar too.
Nice. I want to go boar hunting. Bad.
Boar hunts, fucking Florida, man.
But the thing I got,
they got tours of that shit.
The thing I said,
they're running fucking around
with a knife.
With a knife, yo, you can run up with chasing down with the dogs and a knife, or fucking you sit in like a perch and do like night vision, like scoping shit, like you just sit there like a video game.
I guess you could do that with
they're
boars because they're fucking bad, but I wouldn't do it with a deer. I always said, if before I kill a deer with a gun, I'm getting one with a bow. Hence,
I just seen a
hence
meme.
why I don't have one.
Yo, I just seen a meme and this fucking deer had an arrow right through its face and just like
it's
kind of like chilling and shit. Yo, like they missed, like it just kind of caught through his jaw.
That
and
sucks.
Like vital.
That sucks bad.
Fucking yo, he just like got.
It's not vital yet.
Until it gets infected or something. If it gets, anyway.
Well, what's gonna happen?
Boars, on the other hand, in Florida,
kind of insurance does that deer have?
Like boars and anacondas out for like.
Hopefully, Affleck.
The boars and anacondas that fucking like run rampant and destroying the ecosystem down there like crazy.
Yeah.
They're completely invasive. They don't belong there.
They dig up everything. So,
Go down to fucking Florida. Fucking get on
Texas,
this thing like that.
Florida,
then,
all down there. Alabama.
It's like go hunt some of these boars. They need to be killed and eat them. They fucking taste really good. Rather than eating this
that's
like,
some good bacon.
Pig,
that's some good bacon.
Nah, eat some wild boar.
Yeah, wild boar pork belly with the skin on it. Still,
exactly.
Dog.
Yo, listen.
I've had it. I had a.
You're helping the environment. You're killing your own food rather than actually
game dinner.
Right? Rather than actually, buying and adding more towards supermarkets and shit like that.
Yeah.
And you're just
getting
outside and doing some shit.
Yeah, they dig up the fucking farms and all the fucking crops, and they just dig.
No, not just that, but within like with the Everglades, yo, they're digging up the roots for everything. They're destroying everything.
Yeah,
dude.
they're little
like,
bulldozers, bro.
And then of course the fucking anacondas, everybody releasing them. It's like they're going nuts.
That's fucking annoying.
But I don't know how to. I'm not gonna hunt those.
There's that guy that's out there that does it. He's a motherfucking crazy fuck.
Pythons, yeah.
Pythons and every other kind of fucking snake you can think of.
And same thing with I don't know how it is in Rhode but within Connecticut, I say hunt deer. I say hunt deer all day, every day. They're a danger to the public.
Oh, they are.
Like because of like car accidents and shit. Like they're a serious menace, man.
Yep.
It's our fault for killing the wolves.
Yeah, there has to be a predator. Yeah. So if we took the wolves out, then someone has to come in and keep the population in check.
Right.
And it's like, don't kill the deer. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
But then again, leave the fucking wolves alone.
But that's the thing though. The second you
hear if you want to have a town,
I mean, you can. That's a reason why where humans are smart is we could have a balance. You know what I mean?
Right. But there is a boundary line. It's at the outer perimeters of civilization. There is that boundary line that we don't want to have wolves in. Because then they start creeping in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or bears. So we just kill things off.
They only start creeping in towards our neighborhoods when there isn't enough food. That's the same thing with the bears and like that, where shit's like just getting fucked up good like that. Yeah. But when there's an overpopulation of deer, we don't have to worry about that.
Well, you got to think about it. Have you ever thought about being an animal alone, by yourself, in the wilderness? It doesn't matter what you are. Bear, mountain lion, fucking rabbit. You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine having that life, like fend feast, like how nasty it is out there? Like,
it's a fucking...
You never...
I have.
Yo, right outside of our door is a junk. It's a fucking war.
It's wretched. Yeah. It's so crazy. Like...
It's rough.
I learn a lot because I watch a lot of those fucking shows with the lions and... the documentaries. It's fucking nuts because them motherfuckers are showing the real fights and stuff when they are fighting for territory, and there's 2 brothers against fucking 4 brothers, and it's like, dog, you need to run, and they don't run. They just go. They don't give a fuck, and you're like,
now as a human,
holy shit! Like
we end up being like, where you can end up having that sense thing of like that being out there and actually. But you are human. And it's a different story for a human because it's not like there's other humans out there that you have to like. If you run across another human, that we're gonna start like, boxing out because it's my area.
Yeah,
back in the day,
back in the
but like if
thousands of years ago or even more, 10,000.
Yeah,
ago.
but not today.
Right.
No, right.
So it's a little bit different for us.
Have you ever thought maybe because no one can really verify this? No one's sure if everything doesn't have a conscience.
What?
We have a conscience, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Conscience.
Yeah, sorry. No, I'm a little congested.
Oh, okay.
Who's to say that plants, ants,
Yeah.
bees, monkeys,
No, I
all
said that.
don't have a conscience? Like, the way we see and think, like, just because they can't express it the way we do, doesn't mean they don't have a fucking conscience.
Right.
The way we just stomp things and like.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should say rather than.
I'm not saying things do. I'm just saying, have you ever thought?
Yeah, I think. Well, I've watched a lot of
I think
people.
more of like energies, though. You know, like
Isn't
that.
isn't that what consciousness is? Spirit.
Everybody has different names for it. So rather than trying to like,
isn't
call
it
a
an
specific
energy?
word, you know, like spiritual or energy or like that. I say just because it's that when you say
I say it's
spirit,
myself.
right?
It's
You say
myself
spirit, now
because
you're-
you find yourself talking to
you
yourself.
talk about religion.
No, I'm not.
It already perceived, right? Generally perceived.
I thought I said consciousness first.
No, you did say consciousness. I'm saying spirit. When you say the word spirit, like so rather than saying consciousness, say energy, because a lot of people tend to think general consensus tend to think that something that's conscious means that it's aware of itself, right? Now we don't know if a bee is aware of itself because we're just not on that level, but it could. But I know for sure that it has a specific energy, and when I stomp out that energy, there's either vacancy or something else has to come in and fill in its place.
Well, here's the thing: does it make it any more or less than a human?
This is interesting because this is something I don't agree about burials, right? Because everything else that dies goes back into the soil, except people that get buried in coffins, because we're not deteriorating into the soil. We're actually stuck in there.
Yeah,
we actually
tomb.
keep our energy, our matter, which is we're supposed to compost. That's all that energy still. We're actually keeping that from the ground when they're keeping it within a casket. Why? That's not how it naturally is. It never has been.
Yeah, they always just put somebody in a wooden box.
Right, but you like,
or not even. Well, in a lot of culture back in the day, you got burned.
There's a lot more humans that don't get put in a fucking casket and buried the way we think. I bet you a lot more people are just fucking buried.
Yeah, true.
Around the world, or you just talk? Yeah,
around the world. Yeah.
I think our Western society does the whole. Well,
right.
It's more religious and has the.
I don't
burial.
want to. I want it to be buried in the ground and put a tree on top of me.
I don't want to think about it.
I have to.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen.
I mean, I guess.
But I want me personally. I want to be buried in the ground and have a tree on top of me. And I was like, if you get lonely, come give me a hug.
Yeah. I mean,
at least I'm returning back to
Yeah.
Compost.
Yeah, what are the laws on that? They don't even let you do that.
They do. It's a whole company. It's a fucking pain in the ass and it's super expensive.
Yeah,
I swear to God, you get buried for like $9,000.
Just get somebody cremated.
But even that, it's just even cremation. Like I want it. So even though cremation, more like the old kings, open like just sticks, my body, set me on fire. Everybody's just sitting there watching me burn.
Yeah, put some coins on my eyes.
They don't allow that shit. Because if you got something like that, you can end up throwing into the if you got some disease, that can end up going to the blah blah. Everybody breathes it in, blah blah. It's so.
Well, you hear about the Ebola thing? Did anybody hear about the Ebola thing again?
A couple of years ago.
Oh, coming
a
up.
couple days ago, or like a week ago.
No, I heard it a couple of years ago.
No, not even a week ago. I saw it down in the DC, Congo. Fucking.
Oh shit.
There's a whole little village of like 1,200 people that are supposedly infected, and they're like it looks like a movie. Like they literally lined up and they're checking their temperature.
People are gonna
head,
or vaccination.
They're doing something to them with a gun, like beep.
Yo, whenever I see those scenes,
Bro,
I always
so
think,
weird.
who wants to be the motherfucker
doing that?
Who's like taking temperatures? Like,
well, it's not America. It's not Americans. It's like soldiers
Congolese.
down there.
Congolese.
Yeah.
Oh, those actual soldiers. Oh, I'm just talking about like
Yeah.
fucking. I'm not.
No,
you know
we
when you
can't
see
Shit.
like.
Because like
somebody's
they're
gotta
not
do it.
from that fucking. I don't even want to call it a town. What's it called? A village
Yeah.
of like 1,200 people. There's like.
Listen, if they're soldiers, they're just doing it. They're just doing it. 'cause
Yeah,
they have
they're
to,
just doing
'cause
their
you
job,
gotta
but
be-
there
No,
are.
but you know how
There's
there's a bunch
motherfuckers
of,
walking
Yeah,
around
yeah.
with fucking the yellow. You can't see none of them. Not a piece of them,
Not a
except
piece
for their eyes.
So listen, there's
In
a
the
procedure,
plastic.
right? There's a procedure for like this is something that we actually had to practice. I fucking hate this procedure. It's fucked up in my opinion, but it has to happen. Let's say everybody's in full gear. We might be in a place where there might be like some kind of chemical, gas, like weapon like that. We're soldiers, you know what I'm saying? So it's a possibility like that. So we're in full cover. We might have all the testers, right? Everything says, all the machine and everything that we do is saying that the air is clear and we can breathe it, right? But at the end of the day, somebody has to fucking take their mask off.
Yeah.
So it usually ends up being the lowest ranking individual. So the very first thing they do is take away their weapon. Hey, let me see your weapon real quick. And then I was like, all right. It's like, all right. It's like, and while weapons pointed, I was like, take your mask off. Breathe it in. And they watch you for a little bit. See what happens. So that guy that's taking that temperature like that, I don't think he wants. I wouldn't want to.
Well, yeah, and it's fucked up because they've made a few movies that are very, very close to being semi-realistic on could happen.
well, like the Outbreak.
Yep.
I believe it.
Even like a World War Z type of thing where like it's not zombies, but people are just fucked, and that like it's a new something. Like who the fuck knows?
I think it's gonna be
There's
the,
a mix
the
of
flu is gonna fucking what's gonna like
the
that ultimate virus like that. I think it's gonna end up being one of those flu vaccines.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, they just
absolutely.
they just keep
I
stacking up the
100%
new
agree.
type of flu on top of
I
the
know,
old one.
because it's fucking it's
That
so
shit is so,
stupid.
like,
I don't
just,
get
like-
flu shots
I've
ever.
It's
Ever,
like
ever.
Never
you're
happened in
watching
my
a
life.
movie. It's like you're watching a movie and like all of a sudden you see the bad guys like, oh, that's the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's like you can see the ridiculous the
Yeah.
shit
Well,
storm coming.
that's
with
what
this
it
shit.
was from. I want to say it was the one with Will Smith. That chick.
Oh, Legend.
Yeah, I Am Legend. The chick figured out a way to make the flu fight cancer or something.
Right.
That's what I think. So it's something along those lines.
Yes.
So these little things in all these different movies, it's like premonitions. Like you put it out there, like it's gonna, like the Black Plague happened. You know what I mean? Like that shit happened. People weren't turning into zombies or anything, but now with fucking technology the way it is, and these idiots taking the flu vaccination, different one on different one on different one on different one.
There's a lot of jobs that require you to take it.
Well, so
Fuck that. Is
yeah,
this,
it's
is that
true.
a real? Is it a free
No.
country then? No.
no, it's on with the job. It's voluntary. It's like if you want to stay at the job, you gotta take this. You got no choice.
If you work at a hospital, you have to
Yeah, you gotta take that shit.
Every
You
year.
want to take that shit.
get. Yeah.
A lot of it's just.
So there's something up with that.
Sorry.
Well, so what's worse
They're
than being
using that
today,
against us
worse
and
than
them.
the Black Plague
For sure.
was the Black Plague was still kind of like somewhat contained. It wasn't like spread around the world. Like the way how fast we travel around the world now, very quickly. That is more like 12 Monkeys. Yeah, remember that one with Bruce Willis?
Yeah. Well, the thing is I think they can cure, because they did cure all these things like measles, mumps, this, that, the other thing. Like they're all curable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now that we are acclimated to all these things, and then now they're doing something with the flu shot all the fucking time. Like some asshole out there is gonna fucking figure out a way to make it something fucking stupid, like, and it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like whether it gets to the point of the whole fucking continent of Asia, or
Oh, they made a human.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Cloned a human or something like that, or like.
I don't
Like
doubt it,
engineered a
dude.
human. It's like the first one. It was completely illegal. Like it wasn't. It's like
I think they're doing it in
scientific
Canada.
sanction, like, and she's already like they told everybody after already, like she's up. Like everybody's like, yo, you got.
She's a second gen.
It's fucking crazy.
Imagine that, meeting
Now they
your
gotta
fucking
watch her for the
twin,
next like
or
20
meeting
years to
your
see.
clone.
Like you just don't know. You gotta watch. That's the thing with science too. Like You know, like the measles, right? I believe in taking the measles shot, the vaccine. Why? Because it's been actually proven for like 40 fucking years.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like the flu vaccine. There's a new one every fucking year,
Right,
which is,
right,
you know, like that. That's stupid, right? But something old, they're like, oh, the vaccine's like, no, listen to me.
But we didn't get half as many of the fucking vaccines that I'm sure Sam got.
That's true.
Or any of anybody's kids that are coming out these days. From maybe, I'd have to say, what, 10 and down? Is
How do
when it
you-
got crazy?
Like it.
Because
How do you
as
say
a kid,
no?
I understand that, and I don't have any kids, so I don't know that answer at all. Like, I couldn't even fathom it. You know what I mean? Like, but
honestly,
when
all
you
you could-
do see like people like Jinx Proof and Miss Rose, or you know, many other people whose children end up with autism pretty much right after shots. It's weird, man.
Oh,
Not
for
weird.
sure.
It makes sense.
It's something's fucked up.
Right. So this is where it belongs. It's the responsibility of the parent, right? To understand certain vaccines are needed because they're just proven over time
Right.
what we need to, right? There's specific ones. They're old or they're easy to spot. Now there's new ones. They're talking about, oh, we can prevent this and that,
Right,
and
but
this and
you're
that, and this
being
and that.
told these
So-
new ones.
Right, so the new ones you end
So
up doing
these
is
young
you
girls-
stop. Yeah, the HPV and like that. So you stop and you end up going and looking through your research and seeing, is this, you know, are there specific criteria that could set off a specific side effect or something like that, and really doing that research. Does your kid actually have that? You know what you're talking about? Like, you're saying people are saying yes so easily to that and just believe the doctor so
No
easily
shit.
on that.
No shit.
That
And
is
those are
ridiculous.
the
Like,
ones that are affected
You
most
think
of
about
the time.
like any piece of machinery,
Heavily.
and the body is a piece of machinery. It really is. There are specific things, electricity,
Right,
fucking,
and
you
I'm
know,
not saying that,
mechanics.
you know, certain people can't react different ways, obviously, because everybody's fucking different. So,
Right.
you know.
We already agreed. There's like at least 1 out of 4 is an idiot.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's why there's only
But
3
it's
of
like-
us here. Zing.
But it's like idiot at what? You know what I mean? Like everything has to be broken down into what the perspective of the conversation is. Because, like, I was having this conversation with somebody where
You're not an idiot. This is how you can define it. Is during that conversation that you're going, what the fuck are these people talking about? You're not an idiot if you say, dog, I have no clue what you're talking about. Can you explain this to me? Then you're not an idiot. You're an idiot if you just keep going along with it and you're like, yeah, don't know what you're saying at all. Like that, and you're an idiot. So that's, you know, that's my point of view anyway. Because I'll find myself many times going, what the fuck are you all talking about? But seriously, I mean, yeah.
Shit. Sorry. That cherry be popping.
I don't know what I was saying. Oh, someone was just asking me about like what it takes to be to get a grow going and stuff. I'm like, well, it takes more than just having money. Like you can just, if you buy me a grand piano, like I suck at playing the piano.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean shit if you just have a grow room together. It doesn't mean shit. Like,
Yeah, there's a big misconception with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like natural.
you know, it's, and I'm not saying it's a superpower. Don't get me wrong here. That's not what I'm saying. But it's not for everybody. Just because you can put a tent up or put a grow up doesn't mean you should be.
Like,
And I'm not talking about morally or legally. I'm just talking about like maybe that's maybe not your skill. It's
Now,
not.
what are you talking about? As far, are you talking about then? Are you the? Because she kind of does her own fucking thing, right? So what we talk about when we go in with either maxing out as far as yield or going for max potential as far as overall, you know, everything, like real max potential as far as like pulling the most flavor out of it or pulling the most crystal out of it, in the sense of naturally, not overly, you know, because, you know, sometimes they end up super frost and shit like that, and all the stems are got no fucking heads. You know, like people, oh, that's mad frost. Like, yeah, but they ain't got no fucking heads.
I love seeing those pictures. I love.
This is fucking crazy. You know, so what do you mean it's talking like as far as
But try and tell somebody
grow,
that.
as far as like actually you talking about quality though, not like just I got weed. Because
not everybody's got a green thumb. First off,
Right. I mean,
so try it out. Keep it simple, stupid. You know what I mean? Like, don't be fucking going nuts.
well, it's not even that. Someone will take a sample from me, love it, and like, oh, how much? Like, what is it? What would it cost me to get a room together?
A lot. It depends what you want to do.
Like, because now they're like, wow, this is awesome that you could do something like this. Like, I want to do something like this too. So that's what I mean. Like, it's not just about, you know, having what it takes. It's the full having what it takes.
sometimes they don't understand what they're asking. They're asking you, how can I do what you do?
Yeah,
Right.
they want everything.
It's like, how
in
much
one
would that
big
cost
lump
to do,
sum.
like to get something together?
You're like, how much does it cost me to get a room set up?
Yeah.
Well, it'll cost you this amount of dollars, but that doesn't really mean much. Is what my point is. Like,
Yeah.
How you
No.
gonna use it? Oh, either way. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. It was just a
How big a
conversation
room?
I was having where, you know, it's not for everybody, and that's not an insult.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you can do it, you keep doing it, but, you know, don't jump into it for the wrong reasons.
And also, when you tell somebody and you see one of those pictures of people showing their butt off, look how frosty it is, but
Look how
there's no
frosty.
heads. And then you have somebody like me that'll actually say, hey, zoom into that a little better. Like, there's no heads. And then they get triggered because they grew it. And they're like, no, it's frosty as fuck. And I'm like, listen, I've been doing this for 10 plus years.
Can we?
I know what a trichome head is, and there's none there. So it's not you, it's the cultivar and the pheno that you're growing. Find a new one.
What do you do? Yeah, maybe this should be that's the short of it. Let's find a new one.
Yeah. Because you can blast anything you want. It'll take those fucking stalks and pull anything that it's got left on it. But if you wash that in ice and water, you're going to have
A stem party?
a very unpleasant surprise after you go through all that work.
Mm.
You will not be impressed, and you will go, God damn it, Bond was right.
Bond was right. You should make that say, Bond was right.
There's only been a few people that have been like, oh man, you know, it makes sense, dog. You're right.
So Bond, I want to do what you do. How much does it cost to wash?
I know somebody just asked me that yesterday. How much does it cost me for you to teach me? And I'm like, I can't put a fucking price on that because that's, number one, it's my job. It's what I do. But I can get you started so you have the upper hand trying it yourself. And
I'll show you the craft.
They
I'm not
looked
gonna show
at
you
me
my
sideways
craft.
and they were like, I can't just watch you do what you do. I'm like, no.
That doesn't. It's,
No, you can't watch me do it. I will let you buy all the equipment and guide you with the product that you're putting into the fucking water first.
Bond, but you know as well as I do that they can watch you a billion times,
Right.
but it's
Nah,
the cultivar. They can watch some MOBA. They don't understand about actually.
Absolutely,
But
and
that's what your experience coming where you got that
that's the thing.
what's
Like,
gonna like.
I see
wash.
all these kids online on Instagram and shit.
You guys want to smoke this blunt outside?
I know she's telling me.
I hit her.
I don't care if you want to, real quick. Let's go.
Let's do it. We got a blunt going.
Just for like
Pause
5
it up.
minutes.
Oh shit! So we took a quick break.
Well, that was
Bond
fun.
Had a fucking a phone call.
Whoa.
Interruption.
And so we went outside to smoke the rest of this blunt, and fucking lightning.
We could
storm
hear
and
the
shit,
thunder
dude.
beforehand, and then that's why my wife called. She was like, "You see this lightning?" And I'm like, "No, I'm in the basement." So we stopped and
Yeah,
went and
that
checked
was
it out.
insane.
It was definitely pretty sick.
Blue sky. Bolts everywhere. Ground shaking. Fun shit.
Yeah.
Nice stuff to watch while you're smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's past though now. So now we're back. Back at it.
I don't even know what we were talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
Cannabis. Yeah. I think we were talking about resin heads, right?
yeah,
Something
actually
like
we were.
well, I think you know what? I guess there's 3 types of lightnings: cloud to cloud, ground to cloud, and cloud to ground.
How do you get ground to cloud? What are those?
It just ends up being like the particles end up being charged within the ground. They can go up. It just ends up being that's the only 3 ways it can end up happening. I don't know how common which ones are what. I think the cloud to clouds are most common.
Yeah.
I've seen some crazy shit when it hits a rod in the middle of this huge rock and just blows the fucking rock into fucking smithereens.
This is crazy. Seen it like hit a tree and like
I mean, I guess it's kind of super luck, but maybe not. Like open field, huge rock, big fucking rod sticking way out, piece of rebar. It's gonna get hit by lightning, sometime.
See, people
eventually.
do like with put it in sand,
Yeah, I've seen that.
so it turns
Yeah.
into glass.
Oh, yeah,
See
yeah,
that
yeah.
fucking-
There's an exhibit of that at the Boston.
Yeah.
Right?
It's long.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
like a long piece, like a
Yeah.
natural one.
It's like
right?
33 feet or something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Or maybe 18
It's-
feet.
it is
That's cool. That's very cool.
Well, I mean, that shows how fucking powerful that those particles that are out there. That's why I believe in that. You know, I don't really necessarily believe in a god or a god particle or
God
everything
particle.
works.
Well, that's a
off-
specific thing. There is such thing called God particle. It has nothing to do with like God. It's just something that's some nickname, but it's a bad nickname for the.
They're looking-
for the singular particle.
They're looking. I don't know if they found it, but they're looking for it. They don't even really know what they're looking for, but they're looking for it. Antimatter is what it is. But
I would love to take a trip to CERN.
uh,
Wouldn't you? You
I
tell me.
would.
You tell me. You
I
guys,
would.
it's not like
100%.
It's a freaking. It's a gigantic laboratory.
100%
You get
I
in
would
there, You
love.
can take fucking tours. It's not like
The
like,
crazy
it's
thing
not Area
ab-
51.
I don't. Yeah, right. And the thing about it is, I wouldn't want to be there when they're doing the testing. Because if something does pop off,
Who knows?
you're in the center of the
You might end up
fucking
getting superpowers.
bullshit, bro. Like that shit that they're fucking with. I don't know.
No superpowers. Imagine.
I don't.
And here we go again. What superpower?
I mean, yeah. Again, if what they're looking for is or can do what they think or whatever it can do, it's not good. It's just you just don't want to fuck with that. Like I don't see why you would wanna. There's no point. If you're looking for the thing or you're figuring out the way essentially the universe was made, no thanks. Like I'm all set, dog. Like just don't do that. You just don't do that. Like,
You mean-
think about it all you want. Have all kinds of hypotheses and fucking theses and fucking all the asses. Nope. Just don't do it. No, because we can only put in movies what we think could happen.
They're always tampering with physics. That's how they expand it.
And well,
It's the reason we got like a lot
That's
of
what
technologies
science
today.
is.
Well, excuse me, byproducts of some of this, but it is a good question, right?
Yeah.
Why actually search for that specific answer? Is that what's the real purpose of searching for antimatter besides the search for knowledge, right? Because we start thinking about it, like the search for
Well,
knowledge is pretty fucking dangerous.
yeah, well,
it
this is
always
the
has
thing.
been with centuries.
That's the
Like
same thing as saying research on the side of the fucking Japanese whalers' boats down in Antarctica.
yes,
You know what
very,
I mean? Like,
hey,
are you
but-
fucking dumb, bro? You just number one, don't fucking fuck with the whales, and number two, don't be trying to find fucking antimatter. There's no need. You're gonna create a fucking black hole or some crazy shit in the middle of
I
fucking.
kind of agree In a way, I get the whole thing, but I kind of agree with Bond.
Just let it
Like,
be.
just let
it be.
Well, there's so many other things that they could use their fucking knowledge for.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Why search for
Yeah.
antimatter? Really?
Yeah.
Like, why do it?
I think that's what that song is for.
What's
Back in the day, they made that song for that one place, the CERN Super Collider. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be.
Yeah, I don't really follow physics much, so
I do a
I don't
little
have much
bit
input on
just
this.
because it is fascinating to me. Like all that, don't get me wrong, all that shit is fascinating to me, and that's why I'm saying don't fuck with it, because I kind of have a clue on what might could or what will happen.
Don't you think they do too?
Of course they do, but they think that. All right, so what it is do you know about it?
Enlighten everybody.
All right, what it is they send all different kind of particles, I believe, at like crazy, super fucking dumb speed in that big circle, and they collide them through a screen that they think is gonna catch this kind of particle. But yeah, that's never been done before.
Close. It's actually shooting two of them on opposite sides
at
and
each other.
at each other,
Yeah.
right? And end up colliding. And that when
Yeah,
that
the pilot.
collision and actually watching what that actually does is
Right.
what the data comes from. Have they successfully done it? I don't remember if they did or they already didn't. But it's about their continuing search, like they're looking for something else, but dealing with the antimatter now, because now they see what they see, but now they want to know. Now they want to see what they don't see, what they're not like. What instrument? What was? All right, we got to keep doing it until we figure out what we don't see. Because you say antimatter, we can't see that, so that's what they want to see. That's why they keep doing it, and the potential of something drastically, horribly could potentially happen if all the math that we know of that we get from them too is correct. Like, holy shit, like we're fucking with some serious shit. According to you guys, we're fucking with some serious shit.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. So, like, again, let it be. Fuck off, bro. Like, I'm all for knowledge and shit like that, but just, yeah. I mean, and that's...
Isn't that how you find new...
I guess. They're banking on it just being
it
underground.
is true. New technologies, new way of doing this, potentially new ways of getting energy, which will stop fossil fuel or gas and stuff like that. So we are looking for that as well. That
But
is,
isn't that like how they...
one of the goals.
Isn't that how they change the isotopes and stuff on the elements?
They got
to make things... like, that's how you really determine things are stable or unstable through the isotopes. So, like that new fucking element that they found that he was talking about on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like they can't recreate a stable version of it.
Right.
But that's why they're doing all those particle tests, because they're trying to figure out what the right number of,
Right.
They're trying to change an element.
Yeah.
Because the true science, they want to do like the
And
true
add
science
it.
means that it's gotta be. It's not about finding what's about. That was close. Duplicated. That's where true science is. Like, it's gotta be every single time you do it or do something like that.
Right.
The same thing comes up. Same. So
they probably saw a result once and were like, "What the fuck was that shit?"
Let's do that again.
And they can't like recreate it.
Well,
Some
'cause
guy
they did
left
it
it-
again, and it's totally different.
Some guy happened
Right.
to leave a wrench in there, and it happened to pass, and it caused some.
Or like someone fucking farted before they hit the button, and a little bit of that fart got in the fucking tube.
Maybe the clock was wrong, and maybe like that.
Who knows? Maybe it was a special kind of fart. He had fucking fajitas and avocados.
And that's it.
And they weren't again.
And they'll never be able to trace it down to that.
All that shit is like.
They won't even. No one will admit who farted.
All that shit's got to be like, everything in there has to be like completely controlled.
It wasn't me. It was
Everything.
the one-armed man.
Right, but a fart.
Even a fart can end up throwing a completely different result.
No, I'm saying
Then
like
they
the fart
really
can
intended it.
squeak through anywhere.
That is crazy shit, though, to think what they're doing over there.
Yes. It's
Like,
crazy
I
to
can't
think
wrap
of
my
what
head
else
around
is
it.
going on in the world.
That's why there's going to be a
Right.
Hulk.
Now,
This is how Hulk happens.
Are you guys like familiar at all with like World War II?
Yeah.
At all?
somewhat,
Like
yeah.
A little bit. What they've told me.
There's never been any other like conqueror who's had such high interest in archaeological digs than fucking Hitler.
That's true.
What is up
Well,
with that?
Well,
No, that's not true. That's not the first ones are the Crusaders.
I
Because
think
they ended up going into.
I think Hitler was.
Yeah, but they were
something.
going in and stealing things.
Yes, which is
Hitler
everything.
was.
Right.
Right,
Even
but
the
Hitler was
religious
going out and
artifacts.
like digging for shit. He was looking for some shit
Yes.
that wasn't even found. Like,
Even other shit that even taking the shit that was found and
Right.
looking for new shit. Yes.
but like,
I think Hitler was a pawn in a bigger game.
well, still,
Behind
like,
the
I just
scenes.
don't. Regardless of all
he
that,
controlled this shit.
of course, I mean, there's all those
Top down shit.
But like, just the thought of what the fuck was he after, or did he find something that made him keep looking for more shit? Germans were always the top of the fucking.
No one will ever
science.
know, really,
And we
because
brought
all
them
them.
this
And we took all of them.
All of them.
Yeah, exactly, we did. No shit.
We took
And that's
So
all
I'm
of
just
them.
saying, like,
That's the
is
fucked up
there
thing
a
about-
correlation there? Is there some? Did
Listen.
they find some shit?
Let's put this correlation together. Back in before World War II,
Maybe that's what we mean. It's from.
when was that? Like the late 20s, 30s?
What, when it started?
World War One.
1918 is when it ended. I think 14 it started. 1914.
Okay. So then, back in those times, who owned all the steel?
U.S. Steel.
Wasn't it Carnegie? I believe.
Yeah, one of them.
One of them fucking bigwig guys from back in the day.
Yeah, 1914 to 1919.
Okay.
1919.
Look up who owned all this, all the steel, pretty much back in 19.
Most of them ended up being
20s
just
through
actually
the-
called U.S. Steel. I think he just called it U.S. Steel.
It might be.
It's not a government owned. It's just called U.S. Steel.
Right. So back in those times, that dude owned all the steel.
I think it is Carnegie.
So who supplied Hitler in World War One with the railroad?
Well, we already know about the World Banks. They
Play their games.
Yeah.
they play both sides. They don't have a
Yo,
favorite. They,
That's why I think
It's like Game of
Hitler
Thrones, the
was
world,
it was just a
you
like
could
a
say
thing.
every war is that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's definitely a cash
Just
grab.
Hitler really fucked.
But it is interesting
Did
as to
some
why
shit.
he did, why was he looking for everything? Why?
He was a weirdo.
Not
I
just
think
that,
he
like,
was. He was
pushing-
an opioid addict.
Yeah, but he was pushing Antarctica. He was going through Africa.
Yo,
he was going everywhere,
His
digging
scientists
for
were
shit.
top shit, like everything. Like he was like,
He probably
what
knew
is it about
something,
him
too.
that ended up like just expanding?
He
and
probably knew
wanting,
something
like,
too.
everything, yo. Like,
Because whether we made it to the moon or not, for some reason I want to believe that they made it.
off of meth. Let's be clear.
They made it, but there's no way they filmed it. There was no way to get that footage that they landed and all that bullshit. So they did it behind the scenes on fucking tape.
Damn,
or
what we
whatever.
don't know.
Like
Definitely not.
I mean, there's, if you think about it, there's no way back in those times that you could get a radio signal
No shit.
in 2 seconds
Imagine
from
that show.
from Nixon to the moon. Hey, how you doing, guys up there? Oh, we're good, thanks. No.
You couldn't call the space station now with your cell phone.
So
I'm just saying.
I mean, whether they made it or not, I would like to believe because, and here's the thing, I believe they made it. I'm such a conspiracy theorist guy. Those dudes that were in that did go up there, whether they made it or not, if it was, they would have killed him. Buzz and all them guys wouldn't have lived.
What do you mean? Why do you think they were so fucking goddamn
Yeah, but
stoic and like stone face
during the interview?
during everything their entire life?
Yeah, I guess. Kind of like Bob Lazar.
Pretty much.
Only he's a little more brash, I think. But
Not really. He doesn't even
I
want
mean,
to talk about it.
Buzz supposedly punched somebody in the face because
Oh,
they
yeah.
said it was fake.
But then he told the little girl it was all fake. So I mean, there's always.
Well,
No, I was. It was.
I mean, that's probably him being able to get it off his chest, like secretly, to just like a joke.
I don't believe they made it.
You don't think they did?
Nope.
I think they did.
They definitely did not.
It wasn't what we saw. Definitely not. But I think they did.
We're not a special class of human.
Or they came close.
The American people are not a special class of human. No other human has been able to do it.
What, go through the belt?
So I watched the new one, right? There's a new one called First Man, right? A new movie, shit, right? With what the fuck is his name?
I have no idea.
Anyway, and so I watched it, and I'm thinking about it, right? And I'm talking about like the communication that it seems supposedly on the movie, right? Is like almost instantaneously. I'm talking about like cell phone instantaneously that we have today between here and the moon. Back then, between the lander and Houston.
Because the lander was in New Jersey, I think.
It just anyway, I'm watching the movie, right? Listen, I'm watching the movie and I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, it's like, damn, did he fucking reply like immediately? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. And now, mind you, in the movie like that, so I'm thinking about it, I was like, you start really listening to the back and forth of the original supposed tape. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, yo, that's pretty fast. Like, that's not.
Look, the truth is
That's not right for that time of technology and everything.
I just
Like,
don't
you just
think
couldn't, like-
the here and now is
listen.
that
I don't think Buzz and them guys would be alive. That's the bottom line. Like, there's no fucking
Yeah, the
way
guy-
the biggest organization that's
the first guy that opened his
well-funded-
mouth got killed. They killed the first crew member. It was a very simple task.
When is it documented?
Of course it is.
I've never seen it.
How much research have you done on the moon?
What's his name?
Ugh. You gotta look up the first. I'll look it up right now.
There's only three
Well,
of them,
what?
right?
All right. So what happened to him?
That's the dude that didn't
He-
land. He just went
so-
around in
Did
a
he-
circle
did
and
he-
shit,
did he?
supposedly.
No. So he was the first captain of the first crew that they were. I think no.
Galileo had, yeah, that
One of
would
those.
make sense.
He was openly. Now this is in the middle of the fucking Soviet Cold War.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the
Right.
space race. Yeah.
He came out and was having a press meeting. He hung a lemon on the door of the lander and was saying, "This thing ain't going anywhere." He was saying like, "This is I will not
Yeah.
put my crew like. There's no way this thing's gonna work." And what did they do? They fucking fried him in the capsule. There was a fire. Him and his whole crew got fucking torched.
I've never really dug that deep.
But that can
I've
happen
always just really
with
that
that type like that. Most certainly,
But
that
then,
can happen. Yeah.
but then they
Maybe
went
that's
back.
why-
They went back and saw that the wiring. There was a whole investigation. They went back and saw that the wiring was set up to cause
A fire.
the capsule to be sealed, filled with oxygen, spark.
On the ground.
In training, they were training. Oh, what the fuck? I mean,
No shit.
I'm really stoned, but
That's good.
And that's why they sent the second crew.
that's why those other motherfuckers were like, yeah. Did you guys see stars?
That's like.
Yo, guys, did we see stars? Shit, that wasn't on the script. I don't remember seeing much. I think I see stars. Yeah. They couldn't even fucking figure that shit out.
Yeah.
It was. Aren't they on the Walk of Fame?
No shit, tat.
Don't they have a star with their handprint on it, or somewhere on the fucking Walk of Fame in Hollywood?
Probably.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they do.
That's why.
You want to
No
poop on it?
The
shit.
best actress ever.
Goddamn.
Well,
best psyops.
I mean, guess what?
It's not what it
Guess
meant
what?
anymore. I mean, fuck. You got
Hey,
like
Best
you got
troll
some
ever.
Weird people on that bitch.
Best troll ever. Then, if it is for real,
it
best
was
troll ever.
It was
'Cause
part of global domination.
Yeah, we got out. We
It's
got out of.
psychological.
Yeah,
It was a military coup. Not coup. It was a military op.
Yeah, because the Germans that we took said, "Hey, listen,
We can shoot rockets really high,
yeah,
but we don't.
these guys are gonna get
put
it.
anyone on them.
These guys are
Now, we
close."
put them out there. They just went around a few bunch of times and then just came back down. Boom. That's it.
Yeah,
Well,
so supposedly we can't
Why does
get past
NASA?
that
Why
belt,
does
right?
why
the
does NASA
radiation
say?
belt?
Yeah. Why does NASA say they can't get to the moon today?
We don't have that fucking
we're dumber?
technology anymore.
No,
Yeah, we don't have the big giant.
Yeah, they threw it away.
16
They
by
said they
25 foot
threw-
computers
They said they accidentally threw it away.
with the knobs and
Yeah.
fucking blinking
They
lights.
accidentally threw
Yeah,
it
they
all
accidentally
away.
threw it all away. Imagine
Something that you were supposed to put like in a textbook to teach everybody.
yeah.
Oh, you're
supposed
fucking
to be fucking
engineers.
in, like the Smithsonian.
like
Yeah,
for real,
probably.
for real. Like you
Bullshit.
accidentally
Well, the
threw it
dilemma
away.
is
The lemons.
The lem that they put up on the moon and brought back.
Oh, the
The lem is in the Smithsonian.
Maybe that's the big joke. They called it the lem. Lemon.
That is fucked up.
Boom.
That's what it was called.
The lem.
In Apollo 13.
Well, it's probably an acronym for something.
Lemon.
No.
Yeah, it's
Conspiracy.
lunar
Module.
actuation module or some shit like that.
Yeah, lunar module.
Lem. Lunar something module.
I gotta look up the fucking.
Oh, hey. I mean, I would like to think that they did, but there's a lot of things saying that they definitely couldn't have did it. Like, there's just no way.
And that's why we need CERN to explode particles. So we can
right
figure
on
that shit
Earth.
out.
So
That's
you can
why.
just open a black hole in the middle of the world.
That's a good reason to do it. No, it's not.
Black Earth.
I mean, but we're gonna end up doing because now, since fucking supposedly Elon Musk ended up, team ended up figuring out how to re-land the rocket. Now we can actually do it because we can take the fuck back off.
Yeah, I mean, he did show it off pretty well.
Yep.
They've done it a few times. Out in the ocean, too.
Yep. Oh, platform shit. So.
Now he's got the fucking thing where...
Apollo 1, sorry.
Did you hear the thing he just came out with, Musk?
No.
Fucking interfacing your fucking brain with the AI?
Well, also that I know why he did that, right? Or it might be a story, but listen to this. I know why.
Gus Grissom.
Gus Grissom. That's it. Gus Grissom.
Apollo 1.
Apollo 1. Gus Grissom. We shouting you out. Lemon, son. Lemonade. He's a crispy lemonade.
Apollo 1.
All right. So, the reason Elon Musk, right, is talking about
Chris, mission type. Crude spacecraft verification test. That's what it says.
read it without laughing so I can hear you.
It says mission type, crude spacecraft verification test. And he died in a fire. In the fucking thing. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. I'm too dumb to know any of it, so like, yeah.
I am too, so let's get that out of the way. I'm definitely too dumb to really know.
I wasn't there. I wasn't alive.
I just always
That
say
is
it, man.
crazy.
And
just
if
always
it was
say
a purpose for psychological, just to win a war against the Russians, I guess fuck it, right?
It's
Yeah,
the
we
timing.
won.
I'm cool with it.
The timing of it, and just the fact that, like I always say, man, going to space is so fucking magnificent. Even if it's like goddamn grainy video, if that's the best you can do, that's the best you can fucking do, because no one else can bring that back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why you gotta fake shit?
Right.
It's all over everything you supposedly think you're doing.
Are we really in the
Who?
dome?
Ozone?
Are we really in a dome?
I don't know.
D-O-M-E, dome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about any of that shit.
Clank. All right,
I just know winning. I don't think we went to the moon. I don't think we did.
Well, China supposedly just landed on the dark side.
They don't
Well,
have no. China would definitely put a fucking man on the moon.
No, there wasn't a man. It was a.
But they would. That's what I'm saying. They would.
You don't think they would try with a monkey first?
They can't even. Why haven't they done that?
the monkey.
How come we didn't do that?
Yo, China's got dope shit.
Exactly, dude. You're making my point.
How come we didn't do that?
I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, I know. Well, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying like you're making the point. Like no one besides Americans have gone there. We went there a bunch of fucking times. Played golf, fucking go-karted around and shit. But no one else can get there.
Nobody else.
Strange.
Sweet.
And all those fucking moon
We're
rocks.
number one.
All those
We're
moon
number
rocks
one.
that we handed out to everybody as diplomatic things and bullshit all ended up recently being tested, and they're all fucking fakes.
This is why that's my question, right? During full moon, right? And we talked about this in one of our sessions. When we talk about, like, does that full moon, when it's so bright you can see your shadow on the ground, does that actually have any effect on an outdoor crop?
Yes.
So, what the fuck is the moon made out of that is so bright that you can see your shadow? It's not a moon
Don't get us
rock.
going down the moon.
Well, anyway,
Yeah,
all right.
let's go.
Wait, hold on. But the Elon,
We've
let
done
me
this
finish-
before.
Let me tell you about
Did
the
we?
Elon Musk thing before we fucking it's really quick. The Elon Musk is he said that whole fear about AI taking over, right? It's either us or them. It's the only real solution is to actually integrate both. That's how you end up surviving it ultimately.
I know.
Supposedly, that's what his theory is, and that's what that whole kind of story comes from. If he's trying to do it or not, I don't know.
I could use more bandwidth.
I know I'm kind of stealing this. I know I'm kind of stealing this from Rogan, but what the fuck is the point of us?
Of
humans. Like,
Maybe
all we do is we just keep making shit. New shit.
Maybe
and
that.
better shit. We keep making shit. Like you look at a fucking
making babies.
Like he says, you look at a beehive. It's a fucking beehive. It's exactly what it is. It's the exact same thing. Like that's what they've developed into. We're still fucking developing. Like we're still creating into something. Like we haven't settled on something.
We are Planet of the Apes of Star Wars.
Are we, as he says, are we the sex organs of the machine world? Mm-hmm. Does the caterpillar know it's going to be a butterfly?
Yep.
Where does this go? Like, how far does this go? It's crazy, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
only our minds can think of what we've seen in movies. Unless you're really creative and you have something else in mind, which you should make a movie of.
But just, it's just nothing else keeps fucking going like we do. So where's the stopping point? Like we haven't found it yet. So
well, here's the question:
We don't. There isn't going to be a stopping point. That's why we're trying to search space.
is evolution going forwards or backwards?
well,
It's weird.
it's another thing.
It's
I
not
mean,
natural what we're doing to ourselves. Our feet have started to change because
Yeah, we're supposed to lose our pinkies.
Yeah,
I think.
we're like these shoes are like the heel and stuff like that. This is not natural. This is all fashion, right? And this is completely like bad for your feet. This is what we started now figuring out now that we need more of a loose type of
Bad for your
footwear
back and-
for like because it's not natural, right? We're changing what we would naturally end up evolving to if we was out in
Yeah, but
nature.
that's evolution.
It's not natural evolution though.
Why not?
Because
our brain was smart
It's
enough
not-
to go, ooh, this is comfy. Let's do this.
right, but
Now that's evolution, changing our feet and then our bone structure and everything else. Just
I'm
like
talking
sitting
about-
behind a
But
computer.
I'm talking about you talking about with the beehive, right? You're talking about that natural evolution to something specific. The only way we could actually do that if we actually didn't wear like shoes, and our feet just developed naturally, and our kids would end up developing those type of characteristics.
Well, that's also
all along.
evolution
But
also.
what we're actually developing is like
Figuring
sensitive
that
feet.
out.
Is what we really like that, and this is important when it comes to like us as like even beings, because that's what used to walk around.
But think of it like this.
And pinkies are really important.
So we came
Hurt
from
your pinky, yo, be like, yo, I never
primates,
use how to use
you
that
would
shit.
say?
how does see this? I don't. We can go down this path too. Did we?
What do you think?
Well,
I'm
I'd look at
wondering.
this.
I'm just wondering.
I've seen a fucking brand new infant.
Mm-hmm.
You put 1,000 of them in the woods, they're all dying.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single fucking one is gonna walk out of there.
No.
That's true.
So what the fuck took care of the first infant? What the fuck? How did this happen?
Well,
And
you have to think of how deep evolution is.
but are
So-
you gonna say, oh, we came from monkeys?
Well,
Because-
because obviously the monkey came from something.
No, we say.
But see, why is the monkey still here?
Because it takes a long time.
We already know there's
and the
multiple
monkeys
types of
are
humans, though. We already know there's different types of
We're
humans.
watching monkeys evolve. You know what I'm saying?
But if they can't. There's no. Where's the missing link? We didn't come from a monkey.
We came from apes.
well, right.
But if you're saying we came from them, why are they still here?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
For
Is
the
it
same
going
reason
forward
that
or
there's multiple
backwards?
types of humans.
But
Is it
So
going
They're
forward?
cousins. We're cousins. We're not like like
there's
like a wolf.
something that's not linking it. There's
Right.
a big chunk.
It's
missing.
like the wolf and the dog.
Yeah, supposedly Neanderthal fucking.
No,
you know.
it's actually past that. They said that's not it. Yeah, they found out Neanderthal and the other ones like that. They ended up crossbreeding basically, like
Of course, that's
chromatic-
evolution.
They ended up, like just continuing.
That's
like that. There's
evolution,
multiple
so-
humans, but some kind of state to didn't crossbreed, and everybody kind of.
I mean, what we're
over
basing
time.
our information off of is bones and or fossils that have been carbon dated, and they put these plesiosaur fucking all them names on certain timelines.
Right.
So
How old they are.
that's how long like evolution takes. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I don't know exactly where
I understand.
along the line we came out of the water, or are we going back in? You know what I'm trying to say?
I do understand what you're saying, but
Floating.
what
Are
I'm
we becoming the ape or the monkey or the whatever, or are they coming our way? But we're smart enough to watch them and learn that holy shit, like they're evolving into using rocks as weapons and stuff to hunt.
right. They're they're supposedly going into the Stone Age
Right.
of the Ape Age.
Right.
But
Right.
still, or even if you're gonna say,
Are we basing that off of carbon dating stuff? Like, because there's proof of it? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it going forwards or is it
What you talking about? The actual animals?
all the animals are
everything?
they're at their fullest stage.
You know why? And you know why they're not really advancing anymore? Because of us.
That's not true
That's
because
not true,
Yes, it
because
is.
there's already like a liger.
No, that's a fucking. That wasn't supposed to.
Well, that's
exist.
what. No shit. Well, Cro-Magnon man and fucking whatchamacface man wasn't supposed to do that either.
No, but they end up
Right?
sharing shared space. A lion and a tiger
That's
don't
what
have shared space.
Yeah, they of course, in somewhere along the line.
Yeah, in a zoo where they fucking force fucked them.
Well, I'm sure that that's them showing us what could happen out in.
Or they made it in a lab.
I mean, I don't know. It's weird, like to think of it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
What you know?
'Cause
Your ancestors are probably way on another scale than say his or mine.
They are. Mine are. Because I end up being Taino blood. And I ends up being more of like
Mayan, Aztec.
yeah, more to like that. So Tainos are being more in the Caribbean, a little bit of like not like the coast of, I don't know what the fuck's over there. I don't think it's Mexico, right?
No, it's
like
like
something
South
else.
America.
Yeah, part of South America.
Brazil,
Like that. So that
kinda.
kind of ends up being like Taino
Venezuela.
culture. Shit, I think.
Argentina.
Yeah.
No, Argentina's south.
So
But
we end up being
anyway, yeah.
more people, almost every, most people in the Caribbean end up being like some kind of
yeah.
Taino.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
have an older type
It's
of
a
like,
mix,
genetic
and
mix, yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say.
Mixed
Like,
with
that's
Spaniard
evolution
and slaves.
in my
African
eyes. Like,
slaves,
just like when people from New Zealand either went towards Hawaii and island hop till they got to the big islands, or did it go the other way? Like Polynesian, there's a mix of Malaysian, Japanese, and then you got the Inuits and shit that are up in Alaska,
Yeah,
and
that's how
they all
Kansas
kind
are,
like
yeah.
you could group them in that because that
When they
comes
could
from,
walk, you could walk across.
Right, but you're not creating a new human. You're not creating a new species.
Not yet. I mean,
No, you're not. It's like two different type of dogs. To be crude, as far as like to put the argument like that, it's basically like
yeah.
Right, but you have
two
a dog.
different breeds and type of dogs, right? But you still have a dog. It's
But-
just like a
And
mixed dog.
I'm looking
So,
at the bigger chart of fucking monkey,
That's what I'm trying to look at.
Oh, at that. So that's
human, like
yeah. But besides finding their bones, you got to find evidence of their lifestyle and where it could actually like. All right, this is where.
But I'm just caught up on okay. But then why do we still see monkeys? If they've evolved into humans, why are they still fucking monkeys here?
because they're
Well,
mad,
how long do you think it
mad
happened?
apes.
Well, I'm just saying. If I
We
have
got
no
apes.
idea.
So what? There's mad different type of dogs, from like little cute
That-
little teacup poodles to like fucking bull mastiffs.
Yeah, and if you think it all,
And there's wolves on top of that, and then
from
and
the
on top
wolf.
of- on top of that, and there's still wolves, and
But
there's
what
not
I'm
a lot
saying-
of different type of wolves.
What I'm saying is, like,
I think with
that's
the wolves,
exactly what I'm thinking. Like, what?
Go find me two monkeys you're gonna fuck together to get a human.
Well,
No, what I'm saying is like
I'm
we're
saying
the wolves,
what
right?
ones
There's not a
did.
lot of different type of wolves, but there's a lot of different type of dogs, right?
But I'm not talking about having a land race of humans like European white, Puerto Rican, or black.
No,
African. I'm
right.
talking about,
I'm saying what and a ape banged, and then that just kept going. Apparently, like
Well,
that's
that's
the
what
only
new.
thing. But what were they? You know what I mean? All we do is we see the poster on the wall that has the chart.
But
of
why
them
isn't
standing up.
there every stage of that still existing? As if there's still the monkey, there's still the ape, there's still this, there's still
you
that.
kind of just gotta. I mean, in my brain, I'm saying that's how fucking long it takes. I mean, that's never gonna die off.
But why is there
because
still the
that's what
beginning
started.
stem in the middle? Why is the middle chunk gone? But you can still see the first steps.
Google that.
Yeah.
What?
See how many
Why are
years
we
are
still
in
missing
between.
the link?
See how many years are in between each photograph of them standing up.
But I'm just saying, if you don't have,
it's got to be like
if you can't,
millions of years.
if you can't trace us backwards, like you're gonna be able to know the most recent thing, not the first thing. You're making an assumption.
Well, right. But maybe it's so complex they just kind of did that in a huge chunk of years. Like, it's got to be a couple 100,000 years in between each one of those characters.
Well, I know it didn't happen
Well, that's what I'm saying.
overnight,
It,
but I'm just saying, why is there still certain stages of the mix in
maybe
its
we
whole
haven't
self?
found them
Maybe.
because they're like so like few and far between between like the most common, like if you took a census of this species and this species.
Right. That would be the only explanation, is that we haven't fucking discovered these in between people yet. They're in the jungles, or they're living in Siberia somewhere, or they're living some crazy.
Well, look at the fucking Bigfoot theory and the Yeti and the, you know, that Gigantopithecus. I mean, if it is real, I guess they have documented it in, you know, fossil form, you know, carbon dated back to however many fucking years ago. Thousands of years ago, I don't fucking know, but you never know. The world is fucking big. Like, I mean, granted, I'm sure we could find them if we really fucking tried, somebody nowadays, but maybe not. Maybe they are fucking pretty smart and they figured out how to hide, and who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying Bigfoot's real or anything like that, but something along those lines of the in-between, like we're thinking.
I just, you know, I look at it and I go, this to me seems like too easy of a theory to be thrown together for people to just follow. Like, it's just something that...
Well, look at religion.
Exactly. It's just a dogma that someone came out with. You needed an answer. Where did we come from? You went around.
This is what happened. This is what you'll remember.
And you looked and you found the smartest mammal that you could fucking think of and find, which was a monkey. Kind of the closest resembling thing to us. Kinda. I mean, kinda. They have tails and shit. I mean...
Or the ape.
And you built a hypothesis and timeline off of that.
My buddy brought that up the other day. He was like, if we did come from apes, where's the middle ground? And then that's when I was like, are we going forwards or are we going backwards? Maybe they got it fucking all wrong and they haven't found... I mean...
Oops, sorry.
How old could those carbon dated fucking facts that they have found be? You know what I mean? Maybe they haven't felt like...
To me, it's
I
just...
don't know.
To me, it's just...
Weird.
I've seen, I guess, enough of monkeys and apes on, you know, videos and stuff on watching them that it's like, yeah, they're how do you guys think that's us?
All right, so here it is.
What you got?
All right. According to BBC, all right, this is what it says as of May. This is May 18, 2017. The average missing person inquiries begins with the vital facts. Investigators have often known when and where the missing party has last seen. This might have photographs to tell them what missing person looks like, and so on and so forth. That's just as far as like what's missing. Like, that's what people think. It's something like that. Now, about 150 years ago, Charles Darwin published his theory about the evolution of natural selection. Scientists have begun to accept that humans, for our physiological behavior, belong to the family tree of all other animals. The idea led to two inescapable conclusions. First, our species is not an only child. Somewhere out there, in the world, there is at least one species of animals that's more closely related to humans than another. What biologists would call to humanity's sister species. Secondly, and as important, our species has a long lost parent. It stands to reason that if humanity has one or more sisters, these siblings must have shared the same parent species at some point in prehistory. Evolutionary biologists call this species the lost common ancestor, LAC. Most people know it by its non-scientific name, the missing link. They haven't found it, or whatever that connection is.
That's trippy though to think about. Well, and that goes
and
back
that's
to
why you're right to say like it can't be like
that
you
goes
haven't
back
found
to
it. Doesn't mean
saying-
that we're actually the monkeys. Like that doesn't mean like they are around.
It's a good theory.
Did we come
But-
out of the water?
But there's something out there that could
You know
be
what I
like,
mean?
yo,
Yeah,
that's just like we're salamanders. Holy shit. Like fuck.
I think
Like,
there's
okay.
I think there's some sort of fish that actually, I forget what it is. Something in the water that's got close DNA to us, or like part of our DNA, human DNA. I saw it somewhere. It could be fake.
Dolphins?
I can't remember.
Lost common ancestor.
But you know what? I just maybe that part where you said like, oh, where we consider ourselves part of the animal tree.
right.
We're completely different from every fucking thing.
We just assume this is still a theory from Charles Darwin.
I mean,
that
every other
scientists
animal-
accepted almost.
Every
you
other
know.
animal it's like it works within its ecology. It works. Everything is like,
Right, you don't see a bear having
Right.
fucking a lion or
or not even that.
mountain
Like,
lion
there's
or something.
it's a constant, perfect circle of life. It's the
Yeah.
Right.
everything has its exact role. We are literally like a fucking cancer that just rolled right in.
There's a lot of evidence of our evolution, but we still haven't found that, like, all right, this is where we started from. That's what's like, we don't,
And we don't have it. And like I said about the beehive, like they know their fucking purpose is we fucking make this.
And they
This
know,
is what we do.
they pollinate, nature.
That's what we
color,
do.
blah, blah,
We
this
have
and
no
that.
idea what the fuck we're doing. We're just
We just here.
going. We're still going. And the rate of technology is just it's
Yeah, well,
exponentially
think about the
growing.
time
It's just coming
from
so
one of them
fast.
came out, old school ones, to I'm pointing at a light bulb, to today. Think of how many years that is.
Bro, think
It's
of
not
this.
many at all.
Think they didn't start flying airplanes till like
1800s,
1904 or some shit.
late 1800s.
The Wright brothers.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it took all of human fucking history to get to that point, and then not even 50 years later, they're dropping a nuclear bomb out of a fucking airplane.
We've been jumping. Technology's fucking seriously.
It's
like,
fucking traveling at a high rate of speed.
Imagine we were born before the
technology-
internet. You
I
guys know
think-
that, right?
I
Like,
think-
remember, like before the internet,
I
we
think
were there.
technology is moving at the speed of light.
The now.
With the amount of people working on it, of
You know what?
course,
Whatever.
it doesn't stop moving.
You know what?
It's
I don't.
crazy.
It's still. Where's my flying car? You feel me?
There, watch Casey Neistat's fucking
Yo,
YouTube.
movies are bullshit. Fuck Back to the Future.
No, he's got. I'm telling you, it's on his fucking YouTube. He
Gun
gets in
into
a he gets in a
88.
drone car looking thing, and it picks up off the ground, and he flies it around pretty high too when he gets the balls. No joke. It's.
I wouldn't mind hang
There's
gliding.
It's in Utah, I think. There's a company that makes them.
I'm going down. Cool.
There's a company that makes them.
That
and
I'm
they're
cool with.
allowed to take off and test them and fly them and fuck around, and they move on the ground, and you can like a drone and fucking and it moves like a drone. It's got the four propellers. You're in a little fucking thing. It looks like the Jetsons. I swear to God, only with the propellers.
That Iron Man.
Raytheon's working on it pretty hard. Yeah.
Just imagine the things.
And why do
this
I
is
have
why you
Iron
need to
Man?
have a secure
Because
area.
of fucking a comic book.
Imagine the
That's
shit
why
that
we
they're
have
working
Iron
on.
Man.
Man, no.
Can you imagine
I
the
can't
fucking the
imagine.
technology that the military works on? all these private contractors, what they're doing.
And I'm selfish.
All of them.
Because I can't imagine.
It's just insane. So of course they're not gonna let anyone fucking sign a
yeah,
petition.
I hope they
run
don't.
through the fucking desert
I
and go
hope
see
they
what they're
don't.
doing.
I really hope they don't.
Boy.
Never gonna happen.
I really hope they
Let
don't.
us in. Let us in.
No, it ain't gonna be like that. They're gonna cross that line
Beam
that says
us
"Do
up.
not cross."
Beam us
and
up.
as soon as one step gets across that
Zap.
line,
Yo, there's gonna be that.
Maybe they should.
There's gonna be that 1 or 2 carload of dudes who's
Maybe
fucking
they should
drunk.
do a fucking.
it might be more than that though.
I hope
No,
they do
no,
a
no, no, no.
gigantic laser out of the
Not
sky.
that's all
That
that's
shit
there.
looks
Because
so
there's
cool.
many entryways.
Somebody's gonna have to die.
There's gonna be that first group of dudes that it's like you're not gonna shoot you. They're not gonna have any belief.
And a laser is gonna pop out of the ground, and
Everyone's gonna
annihilate
watch
them.
that fucking their
Group of-
Hummer or whatever they drive there with their big fucking Dodge
get melted.
get melted down or just obliterated.
Yeah, and everybody's gonna go.
They're gonna go, oh shit, and then they're gonna see helicopters coming.
We should
And
turn
then
around.
they turn around. But
They're
okay.
gonna, fuck that shit.
Okay, but I want to see that.
I would love to see a video of it.
I want to. You know that's.
I'm scared to
I
put
want
that
them
out
to
there.
Show full force.
I would love to see a
What
video
do
of
they
someone
got?
who's on the ground who's there, one of the protesters, and because everyone's gonna have their phone out. This is gonna be a
Everybody.
million videos.
Well,
of
no, you know,
I'm not-
No, they can do they can do a blackout.
I'm not denying
But this-
or admitting.
I bet you there's some type of
that I
video
would
that's
like
gonna
so
say
they
that.
would have to get
anti-blackout
out,
shit.
and then when they got out, like,
I'm not denying or admitting
yo,
that
the
I would
videos are
like
gonna
to
come out.
watch
It's gonna
that
be crazy.
or
Listen.
see that.
But they'll be live streaming the people getting like,
Yes,
attacks.
but
and
listen.
stuff.
All right, so right now, I'm calling it out because this is gonna naturally happen, right? After this day, there's gonna be so much conspiracy shit about people's videos. I was down there, blah blah. Like it's gonna be insane. Oh, I seen them that like we were getting close and the aliens took off. There's gonna be so much CGI shit because a 15-year-old could do it in his basement right now. He's probably working on it right now, getting ready for this, knowing that everybody like that. So they're already working on it right now.
Oh, for sure. You're gonna see. You're gonna
That's
see
wild
fucking
shit.
some production.
So please don't send me no shit.
If that does happen, the Area 51 thing, yeah, we're predicting the future for sure, 100%.
Predicted.
100%.
Joint committee session.
That's going to be
prediction.
the new thing. I guarantee it.
Predict.
That's going to be the hot new thing, and that's what I think
I
the
want to
government
teleport.
wants.
That's what I want.
Because they want
teleport.
us to be like occupied.
Dude, if we know about Area 51,
Yeah,
Nothing
they're
else.
like they got the time
Dude.
already to even
If
like,
they had
this-
something
if
there,
had
they would have
something there,
already
it's-
moved it.
for sure.
Oh yeah,
Dude, it's
gone,
like
and that
a
place is
naval
ghost
base.
town.
They see a hurricane coming, they move their fucking ships away. It's not like
Yeah.
fucking like really.
They're not like, yo, put another lock on the fucking UFO.
just one
Like,
more.
Yeah.
No, they just
Yeah.
move it.
Put
somewhere.
another
So you say
big
there's more than
steel
one
gate in
place.
front of it.
Yeah, they're coming.
What do you think the CIA would say? Oh yeah, that exists, unless they were sure that they were good.
Good
Oh
luck.
shit!
Like
Good luck explaining that.
If you look, and I don't do this just for the record, but if you look at the Google fucking map thing of the Earth, on
any
the maps,
military installation is blurred out.
nope, it's not. I'll show you right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
nice.
You could see the whole fucking shit. You could see every fucking line that a truck takes constantly.
Or do you?
Well, it is.
Or do
it's
you?
that, or a tunnel, or a distraction, or
If
something.
they got alien weapons, I'm sure they
but
can
they're
fucking.
like no. I'm talking like
handle
on the
Google.
way outsides of like the little base that's sitting in the middle there, because like the amount of land that they have is.
Well, yeah, then that's just
I
patrol
think
roads.
it's like 100 miles or
yeah,
something.
that's just patrol roads. Son.
Or is it?
You just said trucks.
Well, right, but I mean, is it patrol roads or
Yeah,
are they
if
fake?
if you have to
Are
cover that
they-
much ground, you
is
can't do it if
is
it's all raw
sni-
land.
Is it
It makes sense
sniper
to like.
fucking access? Is it
Maybe.
Right.
Well, do you need roads to all that shit?
Well, right.
It's a base. Yeah, those are roads.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's other spots that
That's
you
why-
can.
Right. That's why most people end up taking those roads, and
This-
then they end up getting
this
stopped
rock
and turn around
suddenly
and like that because
just
you're taking
moves.
a fucking road. Like, of course they're gonna get you. You're like,
Yeah, but they go to nowhere. That's what I'm saying. Like they just stop.
like, oh,
so
we're
it's
just
like,
gonna go, and maybe they'll stop us. When
Where
we
does
go. It's
that
like,
go
dude, You're
to?
taking
Like,
one
why
of the
did you
fucking
go
roads
there?
in there.
So is there a rock that slides out of the way and?
No, it's just patrol.
Is
They
it?
just patrol.
I don't know, dog.
You want to talk about the border?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what
Aliens.
I'm saying. So it's very simple for the government to have a huge fucking base underneath Colorado, Denver Airport, whatever.
Yeah, they have
Somewhere
they
in
have
North
them in
Dakota.
mountains, they got them in
Somewhere in North
Hawaii,
Dakota. There's one in Hawaii.
I wonder if they have one on the
Yeah.
water. I don't know.
I guarantee you there's a few around that area.
My shit was
51.
like sneaking peek. It wasn't like.
That's what I'm
secret
saying.
shit.
Those roads look like you're like, where the fuck? It goes to nothing.
Yeah.
So some of them are like,
Pineapple
like
Express.
wide, and some of them are, one or two truck, one or two
Space
cars.
weed.
It's weird. You look around, you're like, wow, and it's fucking long. Like I would love to take a fast ass car on that runway. If they let me on the fucking base with a
What do you think weed?
badass
What do you think
Lamborghini or
weed?
something.
If you grew weed in space, what would it taste like?
Probably pretty shitty because you would have to use probably your own fucking feces as nutrients for the.
They grow
dirt.
plants in space, in the space station.
Yeah, with soil that they bring up.
So
On
you
the
laughing? We in the space. We got a
trillion-
space station. This is right there.
Of course we do.
on the $1 trillion
Come on, man.
taxi ride.
I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in the space station?
Mm-mm.
I know we didn't go to the moon, but you go around in a
I
circle.
don't believe in that. Not fully.
How about the satellites?
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean,
We can put satellites up there, but we can't put a space station.
I don't think humans can
Same
do it.
side.
yeah,
They have
I mean,
even
it's pretty
Chinese
funny.
one.
One of those things
They
again.
have a Chinese station too,
It's another one of those things where, a lot of fake footage comes from it.
dude. Nah, not that old. No, come on, man. I can understand like with the moon one, right? But like
Hey,
go around circle, that's a little bit different.
don't tell me what I didn't see. I mean,
What? Yeah, I bet you I see like a whole bunch of other stuff that counter it, like way more. It's like raw footage that makes sense to like the raw footage that makes sense to being in that time.
another one of those things. All right, if you have
Like
the raw,
that, like-
why lie?
Like
Why
I can
lie?
understand the Houston and the space station back and forth, right? Because we've sent them up and blah blah blah, right? I can understand that, but that back and forth for the moon shit, nah, because that's just like 3-4 fucking days away. Like, there's no way that back and forth communication can happen. It's just
think
they
it's
didn't
11.
have it in that technology, but we had it enough for like
think
what
it
we
was
have
11
with
days,
satellite at
wasn't
least
it?
height. That's why I believe it's still in the space station, but not necessarily.
I thought it was 11 days away. What was 11 days there? 11 days total.
11-day trip
I don't remember. I don't
or
know.
15. How long was the moon trip?
I don't know.
How many
Well,
days?
what they say it is. Oh, what they say it was.
Nah, I believe in the space.
So what did you
station.
see? You didn't see no space station?
What do you mean?
Did you look through a telescope and you saw just nothing? Just a rock?
No, it's just another one of those. I feel ploys by NASA.
Hey Siri, how far is the moon in days?
Okay, I found this.
I don't want to read it. I want you to say it, you dumb bitch.
That's called bandwidth.
Damn it. That doesn't say.
Come on, thumbs, go faster.
I can't. It's fucking. My service sucks up down here. I don't know.
What it say?
I'm just one of those people. I can only get fooled so many times, and then when the same person's behind the fooling, I look at it even closer, and then when I still see fuckery, I'm not gonna just bite in and just agree and go, yeah, well, I guess because everyone else thinks it's up there, I'm gonna go with it.
No, yeah. I mean, I would like to believe, obviously, but it's whatever. Like I've said many times before, I don't know what is what, because we're lied to and shown different things so many times.
3
throughout-
days.
Is it 3?
Yeah.
3 days by what? By the lunar mission or by?
Yeah, it takes about 3 days
Well, by
for a
car.
spacecraft to reach the moon. During that time, a spacecraft traveled at least 240 miles per hour, which is the distance between miles, which is the distance between Earth and the moon, and it doesn't say actual
240,000.
Yeah.
miles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or for you European listeners, 386,400 kilometers.
Yeah.
That's it. 3 days. So, back and forth communication, 3 days away. I'm not buying it for that time of, but to
And didn't some
our
guy
inner
say
atmosphere,
that they
where we
couldn't
got
recreate?
something like that and space like that? Yeah, I believe that. That's believable.
I think
I believe that's
no, that was on somebody
back then and today. You don't think so? I know you got a reservation. You know, just asking. Just
No,
like,
I mean, I don't. No, I don't think that there's a space station.
Okay.
Not with people on it anyway.
Mm-mm.
You think radiation is just too much?
Just based on, I don't have good sources to give to really fight it. I just don't believe in it. I don't want to say, oh, I saw YouTube videos, but sorry, I did see a lot of videos that,
that's
like
what
I
I'm
said,
saying. Like,
show too many gaffes.
We've been lied to so many times. Like, what is real?
You know, and I didn't sit there with my notebook and write down every moment of the gaffes that I saw as if it was science for me to study. I just watched it and saw enough of them where I go, okay, why is this happening? This is another moon mission. This is just the modern day moon. And now the big talk is going to Mars. You know why? Because we can't see that far. We don't have the capabilities to track Mars like we do.
Yeah.
You know what we have now. So.
What do you mean? Like telescopes?
Yeah, like the way we can look at the moon and shit now, we can fucking that's. Big.
It is weird that how perfectly the moon spins with us. We only see one side of it. Ever. We never see the other side of it because it spins so perfect.
Yeah. And why
in such a
it's
way that it doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. Like why? And
it
China's
doesn't
smart. They
show
didn't go
us
to
the
like
other
they went
side.
and then to the dark side.
But it's not a dark side, you know. It gets
They just nicknamed dark side.
Yeah, it gets the same amount of light as the other side if it's spinning.
What the hell is that
At
half
only
made out of
certain
then?
points of the day, the opposite that we can't see it.
Somebody just painted one
Right,
side
but-
white and the other side black. That's it. It's just paint. Nothing more. Wouldn't that be like just like, oh, that's it? Really? That's lame.
It's just weird that everything spins in perfect rotation with us and the sun and all that shit.
I believe all the physics of the universe. Most of it.
It's just so weird.
Evolution is a
to
little
me.
bit weird because we still can't figure out where the fuck we actually came from.
Like
Of course, you know. and-
how big that sun is compared to the rest of our.
Ain't no one went up there and measured it, so it's all a bunch of guesswork.
Listen, if it's really that far away and we can see it as big as it is and it gets as hot as it does on Earth.
No, but I'm saying when you see it in a
gotta be
book
big.
and someone writes down it is
No, yeah,
63,432 kilometers,
Yeah,
it's like,
I don't know.
really, guy?
I don't know.
You sure about
you were
that?
Up there with tape measure?
Do you even know what it's really made out of?
I think
Do you know what it's really made of?
it's.
I don't
just,
think you do.
Radiation, ain't it?
I think you're just putting a bunch of good guesses that were probably old together, and you're making it sound smart because
Right.
you ain't been there.
And that's the thing too, right? Like, we sent a rover to the moon, but we won't send one. I mean, we will send a rover to Mars, 2 of them, but
I
we
think it's
won't
pointless
send one
to
to the
go
moon.
to the sun.
Like, it's like kind of practice run type shit, like just to be sending like that to like really like map that shit out on the ground. But we're fucking mapping the shit out of fucking Mars. I don't get it. Like,
Because it's all bullshit.
why? You know,
Because it's
Musk
bullshit.
is lying. Musk's lying about his. Oh, is that,
I don't
that's
really
not
follow
Musk.
him.
That's not Musk.
I don't follow Musk.
Musky.
You should,
So-
dude. He's definitely a fucking smart character.
But again,
I don't doubt his
Like when you
intelligence.
say when you see him move and talk and shit, it's like you're a fucking robot, bro. Don't try and fool me.
But what?
Even Rogan was like, dog. He's like, wait a minute. He's like, how do you deal with your everyday life? You're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this, you're doing that. You have that program, you have this program. Like, there's no fucking possible way. He's like, I'm a busy guy, and I only do comedy and this and UFC. Like, and I have kids and a family and dogs. He's like, how the fuck do you fucking do it? Rogan was baffled. He's like, I'm baffled. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
You still haven't told me how you do it. He kept saying that.
It's just like an artist, right? Like when you become one of these big name artists, like, you know, some of the most easy to point at is Andy Warhol. Like, he thought about ideas, and a lot of times, you know, people replicated them over and over and over again. He has like a bunch of worker bees and shit like that too. That's how they end up being able to pump out a lot of art.
Yeah, of course.
So it ends up being the same thing for him. He just happens to be an engineer. Like somebody else is, got a group of actual engineers actually fucking doing the work. But he's got all these ideas. Oh yeah, we'll try this and try that. Try this, try that.
Well,
if we had the
let's
same
buy a
amount of
fucking-
resources, you, me, like that, we wouldn't be able to come out with a whole bunch of. Because he's just throwing so many ideas out. They're not. Most of them suck.
Yeah.
Like the boring one is probably never going to take off. I can't believe he even fucking gave him like
The boring one?
Yes,
that
but I
was
can't
supposed
believe-
to be the boring one?
What's the boring one?
Was the fucking it's not a flamethrower.
No. The boring one ends up being like whole boring. They wanted it was an idea of Elon Musk to alleviate LA traffic.
He did it
by actually drilling holes underneath and actually having cars. They did do it, but
Tesla made
it's
it.
not what they actually originally designed and sold. It ended up being almost looking like it was like a the slow car carnival rides that you kind of just sit in like that, except you're in an actual car. So it's not going to alleviate
that was just
the traffic.
They can make
because
it go
it's
faster.
not fast at all. Like but that's where that technology needs to like actually take off. So now you got the hole,
it's gonna come
but you
from
don't
that.
have that technology yet. So it's like
It's
okay.
gonna come for it. Like that. Trust me, that's gonna blow up down there and everywhere.
You seen have you seen Minority Report?
No.
Okay. Damn it.
It's not
Man,
like the
you're
car had
fucking
bumpers
hard to,
or
like-
anything on it. It was in a fucking tunnel and it was going the speed limit.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
It's just a test.
Yeah,
and it
it was
fucking
just-
made it all the way to
That's
the
right.
end,
You're right, but it was
With no
it
driver.
was just a test. But it's still just
which is weird.
anyway. So he's throwing a lot of ideas out there. Not all of them are great.
Well, think about the
and
biggest
some will
one.
stick and some won't. So he
How
just
about-
has the resources and we don't. It's not like he, that's why he's like, "Yo, Joker, I can't
How
do it."
about
It's like,
SpaceX?
He just has more
It's
money
pretty
than
big.
fucking Rogan too. He has way more. He has the resources. He doesn't have money resources. He has like
He invented
scientist, engineer
PayPal.
resources.
Right.
That's a totally different type of resource.
He invented PayPal.
Who?
Musk.
Oh well, then
And,
it's one of
and,
those fucking
and sold it before, like,
and now just
before
started
it blew
doing shit that like.
if he
cool
were to
shit.
sell it now, I think he's probably still got stock in it. I wouldn't doubt. But
But yeah, man. Shit,
There's a tornado warning, guys.
I gotta
What?
get it going.
That's what my wife just.
I don't like tornadoes.
Okay, let's go.
So yeah, if you can grow one cultivar in space, what would it be?
Did all of
Don't be
them
like
go off?
cliche and say space bomb.
Mine didn't go off yet.
Mine had
My wife
I had a
said
flood
it.
one.
Oh.
That was the wife warning. No, I had a flood one. But yeah. So yeah, if you can grow a cultivar in space, what would it be? And how would it taste?
I don't know. It'd be some high ass weed though.
Because that UV shit too. Put that shit in like
Would be the radiation shit. Radioactive weed. Alright, if there's a tornado warning, guess what, Rhode Island?
That might only be for the Cape, but
well, we're on the coast though. We're all like same with me. I'm in like, Connecticut. It's too late by this point. I'm sorry, but there's no warning. Like
All of a sudden we're
hey,
gonna feel
I
it.
do it. If
Oh,
there's
shit.
you got
The
fucking a
pressure
tornado, man.
change.
We're
Look
really
up into
sorry,
the
dude.
sky.
It's fucked up. Hit us up, dude. We'll fucking shout you out. Shit, yo, it's fucking hope you end up making it safe, Dorothy, and your cousin Toto. Right? Something like this. No, I don't know.
is there a wolf here?
I'm stoned, I'm out. No tornadoes for me.
Bye.
Later.
End of session. The Joint Committee thanks you for listening.